Seriously?
Yeah, yeah.
You are a son of a bitch.
Un saluto a tutti.
Hey Juventini, how's everybody doing out there? It is game day. We're almost there at kickoff. Lazio and Juventus. The predictions are all in from our match day live this morning. All right, so if you're joining us, make sure you take the time and get your predictions in there now. All right, but we're going to get to the lineups. All right, so the lineups are out there pretty much as expected. We'll pull it up here on the screen so you could take a look at it as well. We've got Szczesny. We've got Gatti, Bremer, and Alex Sandro as your three center backs. So obviously Danilo finally getting some rest. He's got an absurd amount of minutes and has been playing a ton. He is set to get some much needed rest, I think, because it's huge, the fact that how much these guys can play, okay? Minutes-wise, even Kostic is another one, but it's always good to get them a break. We, of course, go into this week where we will have the first tie against Sporting as well. So Danilo getting the rest. Quadrado set to line up on the right side. Kostic on the left side. In the middle of the park, as expected, and our best midfield trio, in my personal opinion: Fagioli, Locatelli, and Rabiot. Up top, it will be Di Maria and Vlahovic. A lot of the talk has been about Vlahovic. Do we need to continue with Vlahovic? Do we need to keep going to the well, so to speak, with Vlahovic? I think when the majority of the struggles can be seen as mental, I think you keep going to it. And it's important that we get him going. He is our biggest guy in terms of what we need out of him and assets and everything. Don't shy away from it. Get into it. Get after it, all right? So Vlahovic up top with Di Maria. Di Maria, his last showing for us was very, very frustrating. I thought he was very, very poor in the match, and I think he needs to have a big one today, especially going into the match against Sporting. Usually in those bigger matches, he is money and crucial, and you could count on him. I thought he fell flat on his last one, all right? So, again, hoping that Di Maria can be that influence that we need. And Ron agreeing with me in terms of Vlahovic and not shutting it down and trying to get him going and be the guy we need him to be, essentially, for Juventus, all right? So there you go. We're going to see. This is going to be a big one. As far as our predictions go from the Match Day Live, I will recap our predictions from everybody and what we think. There are some key statistics to look at going into. This could be the 100th victory for Juventus against Lazio in all competitions out of the 190 times that they have met, okay? Lazio sports a very good defensive record, only allowing 19 goals. However, the two times this season that Lazio has surrendered 3 or more goals, Juventus was one of the teams. Funny enough, the other side was Salernitana, okay? So the only 2 times they've allowed 3 or more goals, one of those instances was against us, all right? So I look for potentially that to happen again, okay? So Lazio also have failed to beat Juventus in the last 7 meetings across all competitions. So the key stats in Juve's favor, but we know in these matches there's a reason they're played. All that goes out the window, all right? We've got Matteo coming in here with a 2-0 call for Juve. Beautiful, beautiful. Ron Rositano, 1-0 as well. There you go. There you go. So clean sheets expected here. So the predictions from this morning were as follows. Joe Cappuccino saying a 2-1 victory for Juventus. Frankie going 2-0 for Juventus. Omer, 1-1 draw out of Omer, maybe taking the reverse psychology route. Myself, I went 3-1, all right? So 3-1 victory for Juventus. And I do believe Vlahovic will get a much needed goal in open play today, okay? So there you have it. In terms of, we'll take a look at some of the other matches. We know that Juventus needs to keep the momentum going. Inter falling to a 1-1 draw, okay, with Salernitana yesterday. And then Empoli getting the 0-0 draw with Milan, okay. Roma getting the victory against Torino 1-0. Yes, Animesh. Roma pulling it out, but that's okay. That's okay. 2 out of those 3 continue to drop points. And we still don't know if we're going to get that Easter gift of the return of our 15 points, all right? And by the way, for all of you that this relates to, Buona Pasqua, okay? Buona Pasqua from me and mine to you and yours. All the best, everybody. Dells coming in here hot. Let's see what he's got. I want him to do well. We spent a lot on him. This is in regards to Dusan Vlahovic, all right? We spent a lot on him. And if Allegri stays next season, then we need to get him a striker that fits his game, preferably a more experienced head. Dusan cannot continue with Max. So this is a very, very solid point, to be honest, because if we are going to continue with Max and Max finishes out this season and cannot get our key guys rolling, well, yeah, maybe you are better off. And like I said, if we're going to not do anything about how Vlahovic is going through these games, seemingly dishing the ball off and just hitting the same spot all the time and not getting more involved, then you can make the argument that we are better off to sell and move on and just spread out the money a bit. But there's a lot of variables here. Dusan Vlahovic's value, does it remain as strong as what Juventus would want in order to even move him on? Look, I don't want to sell the guy without a serious capital gain, but at the same point, if Allegri remains and Allegri cannot get him going anymore, then you've got a very difficult decision to make as a club, okay? So it's going to be interesting, and this is not going to go away anytime soon. This is going to be followed for the remainder of the season, going into the summer mercado as far as Vlahovic stands, his time at Juventus. Want to remind everybody, if you're looking to support the channel, obviously we've got the merchandise, some great designs. There are new designs that should be coming out within the next week or so. And Super Chat is enabled, all right. And we have memberships now. So for all our AJC Army out there, if you're looking to support, that is another way. There are 3 tiers of membership. Take a look, and if you choose to do so, we appreciate it. Much like Animesh and a couple others have already. Thank you very much for the continued support, everybody, all right? Now, Spotty saying, I honestly think Keane can fill the void if he plays regularly. So Moise Kean, this is one that it seems to be very, very split amongst Juventini in terms of what they see out of him, what they think out of him. There's a lot that say sell Moise Kean, get rid of Moise Kean. We know that we have the obligation to purchase. That is going to be finalized and everything. And yeah, we're going to be paying just shy of 40 million to have him around. When you factor in the loans, yeah, he's damn near 50. But I think Keane, and this is another thing why I am kind of not ready to give up on Dusan Vlahovic. When I look at Moise Kean and I look at Milik, they're not exactly thriving and excelling either. It's clear, like for me, it's clear that it's much more. It's a team game and it's an approach issue in getting these guys more involved and getting them to break away from that defense and everything. So for me, 28. So 28 million with the 2 loans, close to 10. We're around the 40 million mark. Okay. I thought it was 30. So thank you for the correction there, Deepak. I think it's just too soon because none of the other strikers around us. I am actually happy with what I'm seeing out of Keane. If we talk about Keane solo, I like what he brings. I like the energy. I like the fight. I think he has matured a lot. If we look back and we take the examples of Zaniolo and Moise Kean, both guys that were very, very close, okay? Close friends, but both struggling with attitude issues and stupid nonsense even when they were going for the Azzurri and whatnot. And I've seen the growth out of Moise Kean. Can we say the same for a guy like Zaniolo? I don't know, and that's everybody's personal opinion, whatnot. But if you look at Keane, there has definitely been some growth there. And he has been on the move. He had a rocky stint, short-lived stint at the Premier. He did very well at PSG. People are knocking that it's the league. He was playing with, elite players and everything like that. Whatever it was, he was thriving. Come back, he's not actually done too bad overall, and he's actually got the best scoring rate out of our three strikers. So Keane's worth keeping around for sure, in my personal opinion. All right. And Spatty wants to continue on that the only reason they're saying that is because in the past for Juve and PSG, when he plays week in, week out, he has produced. But also understanding where it comes from. So, yeah, Keane, I mean, the minutes and everything, and even now when we talk about Moise Keane having the best scoring rate and whatnot, the instant point is going to go to the level of competition he has gotten those goals in. But ultimately, what it all boils down to is you have a guy doing his job. Okay, you have a guy doing his job. Whether he's called in against the bigger sides, you got him coming in against the lower sides. When he's coming in, his scoring rate, period, is the best out of the three. So he is doing his part and doing his job when called upon. It's going to be interesting to see what happens and what develops in terms of our team in general and building it up. Earlier, I was talking about Di Maria and needing him to be strong today. And he's another one up for renewal and potential to renew. Who knows? We got to see what's going to go down. There's going to be a lot of discussions. This coming Friday, okay? This coming Friday, we will have Romeo Agresti live, all right? So as long as things don't change, he's an extremely busy guy and whatnot, but we were trying to make it happen for yesterday. But as long as things remain, he will be joining us on the Friday live show coming up, all right? So we can ask him much more and get a lot more insight into what's going on around Juventus. Shatterstar can't even watch the game today. Power been out since Wednesday. Wow. Well, I am happy to at least call the game for you and give you some commentary, okay? So there you go. And yes, amazing. We love when Romeo Agresti comes by and joins us. So we're extremely, extremely happy to have him come by. It's going to be great stuff. Juve, come on. Up the table. Let's go. Ice storms in Montreal. There you go. Yeah, I heard about those. As long as everybody's safe there, wishing the best to you in that and getting through it. But yeah, power out. Still frustrating, my man. But as long as everybody's health is not in question, then we are okay. Master G dropping in. What's up, Master G? For all of you that have joined late, let's get your predictions. What are your scoreline predictions? And remember the prediction challenge around the AJC here, what we like to do. Full-time score and 2 tiebreakers. I'll give you mine. Mine was 3-1 victory, Vlahovic an open play goal, and we get a free kick goal tonight, all right? That's my final score and 2 tiebreakers. Let's go. And if anybody hits it, if anybody hits theirs on the spot, tomorrow on the post-match podcast, I'll be sure to show some love and we'll get you some prizes, okay? So let's go. Let's see. We've got footage coming in now from the stadium. We're looking at the away sector. Juve fans, they're going to go through the starting lineup graphics and whatnot. So let's see. We got Master G coming in 2-1 Juve. Dells with my score line of 3-1. Spatty coming in 2-0. Vlahovic and Fagioli with the goals. Are we in line for a Fagioli goal today? Would love to see it. 2-0 victory for Juve coming in from these nuts of fire. Kostic and Dusan. There you go. Shatterstar adding, we need a win to take advantage of all the flop games from the top teams this week. Absolutely. Absolutely, we need to do that. We just need to keep our own momentum going and keep all of them talking because obviously Juve coming on without getting the 15 points back. If you're telling me that's not something to factor in for all these teams, I would have to disagree. They're in disarray. Look at Inter's record over the past, 7 matches? Something like that. They're dropping like flies. Juve's coming on. We have to keep it going. This is a big one today. Gatti, has to continue his strong performances. For those of you, we're just going to flash the graphic on one more time about the starting lineups is as follows. Szczesny, Gatti, Bremer, Sandro, Quadrado, Fagioli, Locatelli, Rabiot, Kostic, Di Maria, and Vlahovic, all right? Max Allegri got the flu. De Sciglio has the flu. But everybody else pretty much as healthy as Juve's been. Bonucci back on team list as well. Pogba, the only one we continue to wait for, okay? So, again, have to wait and see what happens with these points, but it could be massive. And I'm saying Inter are dropping 50 points on the pitch. Absolutely. Dropping like flies. Remo coming in here, 2-0 Juve. Let's go. Mario, 2-0 Juve. Di Maria and Chiesa off the bench. Would love to see it. Would love to see it. Spotty talking about loving how Gatti has been playing. Very happy that he has been playing much, much more. Yes. A lot of concerns earlier on in the season with the lack of minutes. And then, of course, you had Romeo Agresti speaking to how essentially he's not impressing tremendously through training and whatnot. But opportunities opened up and he has taken advantage. And he says all the right things. There was a fantastic interview. Another reason to follow us on Twitter is the job Lou does on our team for breaking down interviews from everywhere and translating them, sharing them is fantastic. But Gatti had a spectacular one. He is more than patient enough to wait and make the most of his opportunities. Great, great stuff there. I think when you look at Juventus as a whole overall, you know, and you look at some of these other teams, their outlook and everything and what is shaping up for them, they're like Inter's in a mess, okay? Let's be honest. They're in a mess right now. Players that want out. Simone Inzaghi just, turning this team into a bunch of crybabies and not getting the most out of his top guys. They're in disarray, okay? And again, an owner that's asking for handouts at team parties. That is just one of the most embarrassing clips I think I've ever seen in my life, regardless if it was a joke, which it obviously was. It's just a bad look. But I love it for the memes because for Inter, simple. That's how I feel about Inter. Now, let's go. Del saying, I wonder how Rugani feels. Surely he imagined better for his career considering the hype he got. Rugani is one of those cases, and we talk about him a lot. He's actually been okay as far as for the past year and a bit, and him joining in and whatnot. Animesh with the day emoji there in the live chat. Absolutely love it. Another perk from being a member. I wonder how Rugani feels like. Obviously, I think it was probably more in terms of where he would finish one up. But I think right now, I think he's more than happy to be at a team that's competing in multiple competitions and getting in there where he can. I think for Rugani, it simply comes down to what we see on the pitch is that you can't play him on the right, okay, which creates an obvious problem for Bremer because Bremer's got to be in the heart for this Juve side. So that's the problem with Rugani is you can't also move him to the left side because they need somebody with a little more solidity supporting Kostic there that can also get involved. So it's created a bit of an issue because if you're going to play left or right, you got to support either Kostic, Quadrado, De Sciglio that's out there and get more involved, which isn't necessarily his game. So it's kind of taken him out. Gatti can play. He can get involved. And I think that's what's made the breakthrough here. But Rugani, as far as wanting to go out there and somewhere else and get more minutes, I feel like that would have already happened by now, though, if that's what he wanted, right? So it's kind of one of those things. But as far as Gatti, surpassing him coming from Serie B almost instantly, But Rugani's, I guess the difference is he's always been behind these bigger names, these guys that are established and whatnot. But now for a guy like Gatti to pass, does it emotionally crumble him? Hey, time will tell. Time will tell. Master G saying Rugani was solid his first 2 years, but never developed into what Juve thought he was going to be. So, it hasn't. But there's something to be said for good, solid rotational pieces, which he's actually become. Because there was a point there I didn't even feel comfortable with him coming off the bench, but past year and a bit, I have no problems with it. So there's something to be said for squad players as well. We see what happens with Rugani. Forza Juve sempre. Let's go. Let's go, everybody. Getting close to the teams coming out to take the pitch, and then we are going to get to the action, all right? I'm jacked up for this one. I want to keep things going, want to get the win. This week has been an absolutely frustrating one for me, and just how I've seen everything dealt with in the racism scandal, whatnot with Lukaku, and social media absolutely disgusted me in where they were shifting their focus to and everything. I did not like that whatsoever. It was taken away from the actual problem, which is the racism. That absolutely must stop, okay? Fandom needs to be pushed aside when we're dealing with racism. And I just hope that if they want to make us the standard and the example, that's fine. Let's just get consistency, okay? Let's get the consistency from here on out, because we simply can't have the amount of incidents happen that have gone unpunished, all right? So let's go. And here we are coming out, referees, both starting 11. I'm getting jacked up here. We've got a prediction here. Faisal coming in here. 2-0 victory for Juventus. Love it. Everybody's feeling very, very positive today, okay? So absolutely love it. We're getting this one going very, very soon here as these lineups coming out here. You'll get the Serie A anthem, and then we're going to be ready to go. Well said. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It was, like I said, very, very frustrating week to be on social media and listen to where the attention was shifted to. Now, back to what we love, the football. The football. And you see the shirts being represented by the three officials here about, obviously, anti-racism. So let's just ask for stronger measures, okay? And I do want to say, I want to give Juventus a shout out, okay? Because they have been working with the authorities. They have found 2 and issued bans. Whether 2 is not enough or anything, it's very, very difficult. If you're going to deal out punishments to that extreme, you have to be damn sure. So I do want to also commend a friend of the channels and the shows, Jonathan Grade, who was at the game, had footage, and submitted it to Juventus, all right? So bravo to Jonathan Grade. Fantastic job there. That's what the fans need to do. All right, we need to put anyone that's willing to do that in that circumstance and make racist chants and whatnot needs to have. We all have cell phones. Take the footage, send it in. Let's find them and let's keep them out of the stadiums because they don't deserve that privilege. Okay, let's go. Now, interesting here from Animesh that Calvo spoke about the chant, saying that would have been heard from the 35-minute of the second half, but nobody asked us to activate the anti-racism procedure. Then the commitment of Juventus to identify those responsible who have been found was taken into consideration. There you go. There you go. Because we have seen in other stadiums where they do shut things down, the ref walks over and they put out the announcement to shut it down or the entire game will stop. So again, the whole situation, ugly. We have to be strong and shut everything down. Sarri not doing a bad job this year. He's not at all. And surprising a lot with the defensive prowess. Like I said, 19 goals only allowed. But let's get a bunch today, right? Let's get a bunch today. Let's go. There's the huddle. Made popular after the retiro, after the awful start. And now we do it every game. We see it every game. And there's some amazing fan cams and footage of that huddle before these games. I absolutely love it. Getting ready for kickoff here. I'm amped up, everybody. Let's go. Let's go. Let's get this game underway. Nothing left but waiting for that whistle. Let's go. We got it. Kickoff. Let's rock. Lazio bombs this one forward to start the match. Headed out by Rabiot. Only as far as Lazio's midfield. Lazio in possession now. At the back. Over to the left side. Hisaj moving forward. Oh. I still turn there. Foul there. It's Cuadrado. Gets a good solid piece of Zaccagni there. All right. Rabiot, worth mentioning, Jeremiah. Jeremiah could win a jersey of his choice if Rabiot scores, okay? Rabiot only needs one goal for the remainder of the season to win him that jersey. Let's see. Let's see if he can get it for him today. Lazio setting up to take this free kick here. Way tight to the left flank. Cross comes in. Very low and hard. Luis Alberto trying to settle. That's going to be headed out. And that was Anderson. Excuse me, not Luis Alberto. Trying to settle that down. Here we look at Maurizio Sarri already with the notepad out, everybody. What's the over-under on how many times he's going to pull that one out? We got a corner kick to deal with, though. Corner's in. Headed in. But only as far as Adrien Rabiot. Back out. And now we will face another corner kick. No, my daughter is losing it. I think it's because it's bedtime. Nap time. Cuadrado, a little clumsy on that one. Little clumsy on that one. But gave us a chance to set up, right? Here's another corner coming in. Headed flicked on again. Only as far as Locatelli this time. Two corners exactly the same. All right. Little flicks from Anderson here. Let's get out of this repeat sequence here. Come on. Another corner in. Here it goes. This one's a little bit higher up. Rabiot gets up to it. It's still in the area. Milinkovic, Savic, and Sandro battle. Sandro gets the best of it. Kostic now clears it. Vlahovic doing battle, but cannot win that from Romagnoli. Lazio remains in possession. Now trying to go backwards just to settle things down. Cataldi over to the side now. Luis Alberto in control for Lazio. Zaccagni. Now back. Romagnoli. Marusic. For Felipe Anderson. Kostic watching him. Sandro behind him. Watching the overlapping run. Play inside. Juventus cleans it up nicely. Rabiot trying to break through. Nice pass inside for Di Maria. Di Maria over to Fagioli. Stops it. Locatelli tries to pop this one for Cuadrado. Gets it all wrong. Little bit of an opportunity for Juve to break there, but the passing just not quite sharp enough. But we're only 3 minutes in, everybody. Nowhere to go but up, so let's go. Marusic for Lazio. To Anderson. Back now. Casale. It's going to go over for Hisaj. Up for Zaccagni. Has Alberto inside, but goes back for Romagnoli. Juve in their defensive shell, not applying a lot of pressure to the perimeters. Kostic playing up to Marusic. Felipe Anderson now. Little pass inside for Savic. Back to Anderson. Back to Marusic. Casale. Over to Luis Alberto. Zaccagni. Fagioli watching him. Back for Luis Alberto. Back to Zaccagni. Fagioli just running back and forth. Need a little bit more support here. Alberto decides to hit one, but it's right at Szczesny. And he handles that one easily. Hell of a rip there, but right at Szczesny. Waiting a little too long. Having Fagioli follow two players out there. Gotta ramp up a little bit more pressure on the ball carriers. Let's go. All right. Cuadrado now. Back to Gatti. Gatti's going to go to Szczesny. Juve's turn to play with the ball a bit here and get some possession. Here's Sandro. Over to Bremer. Probably just lay it off for Gatti to his right. He does. Cuadrado's inch forward on that byline, but Gatti can't find him. Bremer for Sandro. Sandro now. Playing that inside for Di Maria. Di Maria doing his best to just try and maintain possession, but it's taken away. And now Lazio back in possession. Hisaj's going to find himself with the ball over on the left flank. Back to Romagnoli. Cataldi. Cataldi absolutely not being pressured whatsoever. Now Luis Alberto, and he's got space to move forward. Fagioli decides to move forward to him. Ball back for Romagnoli. Vlahovic has dropped off. Di Maria has dropped off. We've dropped very deep. Zaccagni now. Casale up for Anderson. One touch. Tried to flip through, but not close to any Lazio forwards. It's going to fall into Szczesny's hands. All right. Very, very deep. Very, very deep for Juventus right now to start this game off. Szczesny has dropped the ball. We're going to maintain possession here. Gatti now playing it to Quadrado. He's looking to switch the field, playing it for Sandro. Has to play it with his head back to Bremer. Very little pressure now from Lazio. Just Immobile chasing the defense back and forth in possession. Bremer on it. Decides to turn and go back for Gatti. Gatti to Quadrado. Takes a quick look forward. Plays it in for Di Maria. Has to go back for Gatti. Over to Bremer. Juve has handled Lazio and made them pretty toothless this season so far. But they were also missing a couple pieces. We'll see what happens here. Nice ball up forward for Quadrado. He's looking cross. He crosses it in. Cleared out from Romagnoli. Sorry, Cataldi. Sandro carrying it forward. Plays it deep for Rabiot. Rabiot cross in. Oh, just can't settle for the head of Vlahovic. Just can't get over that header. Much better from Juventus. That's what we're talking about. Let's get that. Let's get that going. Come on. Much, much better. Lazio puts this back into play here. Trying to play it off Immobile. A little one touch for Milinkovic-Savic, but Sandro handles it. Plays it in for Locatelli. Now to Bremer. Bremer's going to switch it up for Quadrado to the right flank. He's going to take a look forward, but probably has to go back with it, and he does. To Gatti. Bremer. Over to Sandro, who did very well on the build-up to that opportunity for Vlahovic. Now, speak of the devil, we find him doing everything he can to try and win possession. Gets it taken from him. Looks towards the referee. Nothing there whatsoever. Casale doing well there to take it from him. Just have to make decisions a bit quicker there, Vlahovic, and release. Or if you are going to try and take your man on, turn him or whatnot, you just have to do so a little bit quicker. Trying to shield it that long, always asking for problems. Lazio moving up their left flank. Again, where they choose to do that a lot. And the reason is because it lets their other outside player, Felipe Anderson, close in. And then what they end up doing is it looks like a cluster of players. But from there, they break out into these runs and create a little bit of havoc. It's actually a decent strategy for a team that plays predominantly zone like Juventus does. Here's Marusic now to Felipe Anderson, who had to make it back up to the outside position after creeping in as the ball usually played up the left side. Here's Hisac. Zaccagni trying to play it off, looking for a handball. Nothing doing. Played inside for Di Maria. No, they are going to call it. That was Zaccagni flicking it on. And Quadrado gets called for the handball. KG. Oh, I see there's one person chasing us around, dropping a thumbs down on all our stuff. Let's just counteract it, everybody, and take a second to thumbs up. If somebody has the time to do that on all our latest lives and videos, hey, I actually feel sorry for you. Okay? You really need to touch some grass. Let's go. Luis Alberto standing over this one, ready to take this set piece in. Here it comes. Cross in from Luis Alberto. Flicked on from Sergej Milinkovic-Savic, but over the goal. Szczesny watching that one. the whole way through there. Vlahovic missing that header, misreading it a little bit short, and then Sergei Milinkovic-Savic trying to direct that towards goal. Not missing goal by much, but Szczesny seemed to know a lot about it. Was in the right spot. You see Sadi twitch there. Wanted that one going in there. That's all right. Juve back in possession. Gatti misplays that pass. Lazio could turn it. Luis Alberto, lazy, or sorry, not lazy, but soft pass looking for Felipe Anderson. It was cut out. Gotta be sure there if we're going to be playing out of the back. And Lazio's putting us under at the back now, dropping us deeper and deeper and deeper. Sergei Milinkovic-Savic to Marusic. He's going to play it up for Felipe Anderson, make an overlapping run. Kostic watching Anderson. Now Sandro has to get engaged as he goes further, and this is going to be another corner kick for Lazio. 11 minutes in, the possession very much in favor of Lazio, 69%. They have got 2 attempts, 1 on target. Juve has got 1 attempt so far and only 31% possession. Come on. Dealing with too many set pieces and corners here. We want to establish a little bit more control. Luis Alberto, corner in. That's headed. That was a free header. Free header there for Sergei Milinkovic-Savic, and that one goes over the goal as well. That is the problem with a zone defense that you see right there. Juve in and around the 6-yard box and allowed 3 runners from the top and nobody marking them. You've got to man up on set pieces, everybody, okay? Man up on set pieces. Have to man up. I do not like zones on set pieces. Gatti now to Quadrado. Locatelli trying to be an option. He gets the ball. Moving forward, playing it for Fagioli. Fagioli trying to play back for Locatelli. That's cut out. Gatti caught between 2 minds. Doesn't get engaged. Now Lazio trying to turn it. Lovely stuff from Fagioli to work and at least try and cut it out. Just possession couldn't remain with him. And now Lazio back in control of the ball. Hisaj now will get it on the left side. Luis Alberto scanning. Plays it in for Sergei Milinkovic-Savic. Trying to go back for Luis Alberto. Cut out by Fagioli. Oh my God. He's dropping. He's looking for a call here. What are we doing? Sergei Milinkovic-Savic carried in. Nice challenge. Holy smokes. You'd have to think he stopped a goal there. Fantastic challenge there, but way too sloppy for Juve, and stop looking for calls. We have to stay sharp. What are we doing? Kick up the focus, everybody. Lazio back on to Luis Alberto now. Playing it to Zaccagni. He's got Hisaj to his left. Chooses to go right. Drop it back for Casale. To Marusic. Marusic. Cross in. Chested down. Locatelli. Flicks on. Cleans it up. And gets called for a handball as he tries to play it to Fagioli. This is actually in a dangerous spot. Very, very rough start for Juve. Not looking good in this 13 minutes to open this one up, everybody. I'm telling you. Not looking good. Not looking good. That is a shoulder. That's a shoulder. What are we talking about here? It's the top of the shoulder. That is not a handball. Never a handball. I'm not sure what was going on with Fagioli there. But man, Milinkovic-Savic trying to cut in almost a couple. But Bremer stays with it and has a huge, huge clearance there. Right as Sergei Milinkovic-Savic about to strike. That is an awful call against Locatelli for this handball, though. That's mind-blowing stuff. The ref's right there, too. This is a very, very dangerous spot as Szczesny ducking down to see through the wall. He's going to set up his wall. Sergei Milinkovic-Savic stands over this one. He can hit them, everybody. He can hit them. Who do I think's getting MVP of this one? It's very, very early, but I do believe Juve will get the win. We got to deal with this first. Milinkovic-Savic hits it right at the wall. The wall does his job. Early shout. I think the way it finishes will probably be Fagioli. I'll just make that shout. What do you think, though? Let's get those shouts on the way too early man of the match decision. Here's Gatti heading it, but only as far as Felipe Anderson. Oh, Kostic going in soft. We got to kick things up here. We're not into this one. Zaccagni, oh, does he ever burn Quadrado there? Cross in, but Gatti comes up to clean it up. It goes off his chest. Going to be yet another corner kick for Juventus to deal with, okay? Another corner. Lazio very much in control at the start here in the opening quarter of an hour. They've already got 4 corner kicks. When you add in the set pieces that they've earned already, I don't like that. You keep giving them opportunities. And look, we continue to zone and not man up. Find your man. Here's the cross in on the corner. Low one again, looking Anderson's way. Fagioli does well to get in there. He's set Kostic. Kostic is moving forward. Now we could come back at Lazio. Look at this. Switch ball for Di Maria. Now Di Maria trying to play it ahead for Rabiot. Rabiot's got 3 defenders in there. Gets closed down. Goes to ground. Just couldn't get the ball to settle for him. 60 minutes in, and Juve looks like they are going to try to just hit Lazio on counters. Vlahovic is down in the area. Di Maria with the ball over the top, looking Rabiot's way. Little bit of a nudge in from Sergej Milinkovic-Savic. Has to be said, he's run behind more times than not. That is called very, very soft. But then you have the cutoff from Hisaj as well, and Rabiot goes down. But what happened to Dusan Vlahovic? Little bit of a leg stuck out maybe in the back there. Questionable, questionable. Referee is listening to his headpiece, but I don't think anything's going to be coming. Vlahovic is down in pain, though. He is in a lot of pain. He's got the... he's getting the freezing going, but he called for attention. Something's happened. That's not good. It's not looking good. He is up now. Ooh. An aggressive limp, to say the least. Aggressive limp. Little bit of a hop here. He's going to go get a little more attention out the side here. Juve will continue here with... little bit of a collision there with Cataldi. Yeah, he's in pain. Let's see. We got to get him back in here pretty quick here. So Vlahovic getting some attention. Juve in possession. Sandro now bombing this one up the right side. Di Maria trying to settle it down. Hisaj is going to cut that out. Plays it in for Luis Alberto. Alberto now being closed down. Fagioli, Di Maria, Locatelli were all in there. Romagnoli back to Hisaj. Closed off from Di Maria. This is good stuff. Good pressure from Di Maria. The ball is kept in by Hisaj there. Lazio still trying to find a way out. Pop the ball over the top and Gatti will close them down. But now they will try and get a little bit of space to break up the right flank. Juve's left side. Felipe Anderson now on it. Plays this ball forward, looking Immobile's way, and Bremer reading it very nicely. Gatti comes in to clean that up as well. Now he's going to bomb this forward with his left foot. Nobody there for Juventus. It's going to go out, and Vlahovic is allowed to get back onto the pitch, and he does. He trots back in there, looking a little bit better. Oh, man. Slow start, to say the least, for Juventus in this one in the opening 19 minutes. Put back here. They ended up calling a foul on Immobile, so Juve gets the free kick just ahead of their 18-yard, and they play it back in. Gatti and Bremer exchange a couple times. Gatti now to Quadrado. Quadrado takes a look forward, really has nowhere to go, goes back to Gatti. Gatti is going to move it to the left side for Bremer. Sandro is moving forward in a central area to maybe try and get some options and even just keep Lazio moving a bit. Now he receives this. Bremer's going to move to his left. Sandro carrying it forward, plays it up for Kostic now. Kostic plays this one, trying to go down the line to find Rabiot. It's cut out. Sergej Milinkovic-Savic turns in the midfield. Kostic running to try and catch up to him. He does. Play to Anderson, but 1-2. Sergej Milinkovic-Savic still running at Juve's defense. Locatelli shuts him down a bit. Cuadrado misreads that, and Locatelli cleans it up. Di Maria has turned his man. Now we're running. It's Di Maria and Vlahovic running at 3 Lazio defenders. Di Maria on the left side. He's being closed down immediately. Cuts in. Looking for help. Drops it for Locatelli. Locatelli trying to play this one through for Kostic, but it's cut out. Right idea, but not enough on that pass to get it through there. Felipe Anderson with a bad pass over to the far side. It goes out. It's going to be Juve ball on a throw-in. Holy. So you see Juve starting to look for some answers in order to have a little bit more options in order to move up the pitch, and that is essentially Alexandro starting to move a little bit more freely. We've seen him do that in multiple matches, and it actually does work quite well, and it gives the opposition something to focus on and moves them out of their shell. Here's Bremer now, ahead for Cuadrado, looking inside, but Lazio has just flooded the midfield, okay? They've absolutely flooded it. Juve has to move to the perimeters. Here's Kostic now on Juve's left flank. But he's always being pushed back. Sandro to Bremer. Again, Juventus trying to open up some lanes. Trying to find some avenues to attack Lazio. Here's a pass forward. Looking for Vlahovic. He does well. Does well. Tries to play it across. Oh, I thought the pass was too soft, but he does get it to Di Maria. Di Maria closed down quickly. Cuadrado to Locatelli. He's got Rabiot to his left. He plays it to him. Rabiot now moving. He's got Kostic to his left. Tries to cut in. Oh, bad touch that actually goes off his leg and then dropped down there. We have a Lazio player down. It's Felipe Anderson. Lazio losing, flipping their wigs over this. Stomp from Vlahovic on that play before when the two were going at that 50-50. And Lazio not happy about no calls coming there. He's just simply trying to step down, not necessarily on his foot. Tough one, but we continued to play, and Lazio took exception to that. KG start, everybody. KG start, everybody. Come on. We need Juve to fire up in this one and get going. A look at Lotito in the stands. What an individual. Not much I could say about Lotito. Felipe Anderson now getting attention, getting the magic spray. As we take a look at Landucci. What's going on, right? It's Landucci ball. We're expecting 7 goals. What are we doing? Gotti thinks that Kostic will end up getting the MVP following my prediction on TikTok. Thinks he might get 2 assists, which is going to help him. There you go. Master G, we need Bonucci's passing from the back. Bremer and Gatti are not great on the ball. I don't know how much that is of a detriment because we don't really play the long style. We play the short pass. Now, one might argue we play that way because we don't have somebody that can do it, but I don't know. It's anybody's guess, but I don't know. But the counteract to that one is essentially that Bonucci's play is not to the level that we need anymore at the back. And first and foremost, your job is as a defender. Has to be said. The days are over, I believe, for Leo. Lazio now. Just an insane amount of short passes back and forth between two players. But now Marusic. Back to Casale. Has Romagnoli to his left. Will actually go to Luis Alberto, who's dropped back. Scanning inside for Cataldi. Back to Romagnoli. Back to Luis Alberto. Hisaj just moved forward on the left flank now. He's going to get the ball. Quick little one-touch in for Zaccagni. Back to Hisaj. Back touch to Luis Alberto. Now forward again. Zaccagni. Closed down by Cuadrado and Fagioli. Back to Luis Alberto. He's going to look to pop this one over the top going back post, but nowhere near Felipe Anderson. And Szczesny will take that. All right. Played inside now for Locatelli. Locatelli to Cuadrado. Takes a quick look forward again. Back. I think Juve's going to have to start switching field up a little bit quicker. They're flooding the middle and taking away the flanks when we take too long. We just have to pick up the tempo, and we have to start skipping some men on the passes and start looking for these corner balls potentially. You might have to cheat with one of your flanks in order to take advantage of some field possession here. Fagioli inside for Cuadrado. Cuadrado now back to Fagioli, who's dropped back. Now to Bremer. Getting closed down quick from Sergej Milinkovic-Savic. Fregatti now, who's allowed to move forward. Locatelli shouting to get the ball back to Bremer. He does. Bremer inside for Locatelli. Closed down. Nowhere to go. Look at the middle of the park. We have to figure this out. We have to move forward. Little flick on play from Rabiot, but doesn't make it over to Vlahovic. And now we have an out of bounds. It's going to be a Lazio throw. But Juve very much struggling to find the solutions in terms of how they can get into Lazio's final third and start to create problems. Lazio has adjusted definitely since the last time these two teams have faced. And now it's time for Juve to adapt and start to find some solutions. Bremer now. He and Szczesny interchange passes. Szczesny interchanging passes with Sandro. Sandro now launching it forward for Vlahovic. Little back heel attempt trying to stop it for Rabiot. And you know what? This might be one of the better ways for us to try and gain that field. Is we've got to get tight to Vlahovic and we've got to look his way and get him moving. And do not do it centrally where Lazio will be able to close that down and isolate him easier. Look to the corners. Look to gain that field in the corners. And like I said, you might have to risk a little more and be sending Kostic on the left, Cuadrado on the right a little bit sooner. Romagnoli up to Luis Alberto. Hisaj moves up forward to his left. Cataldi dropping. Here's Zaccagni. Fagioli closing him down. Cuadrado also watching there. Now he moves out to Hisaj, who's dropped it for Luis Alberto. Juve dropping very, very deep. Here's Romagnoli. Inside, Luis Alberto finds Sergej Milinkovic-Savic. Just allowing them to operate, really, and just dropping further and further back. Here's a ball inside for Sergej Milinkovic-Savic. Tries a little flick on, but Sandro heads it out. Lazio back in control. Alberto stops it for Hisaj. Back to Luis Alberto. Over to Cataldi. He's got Maricic on the right, but he plays it in for Sergej Milinkovic-Savic. Back to Cataldi. Cleaned up by Juventus. Again, only as far as their back line. And Lazio back in possession. Here's a pass inside for Felipe Anderson. Trying to flick on. And ooh, that's a hell of a save from Szczesny as it's hit on the one time by Immobile. Warning shot fired by Lazio. Sergej Milinkovic-Savic is on for it. Felipe Anderson back to Sergej Milinkovic-Savic. Trying to go through two Juve players, but it's cleaned up. There's a Lazio player down, and play is continuing. And Lazio doesn't want to stop it, even though their player's down, because they've got Juve under. That was a big stop from Szczesny. Luis Alberto, the player down. Little flick on there. And man, Immobile does well to hit that directed on goal. Around Sandro, very well for Szczesny to keep with that. Gotti, I will say, do I think Vlahovic still needs some time, or are we slowly losing patience on him? He's been dropping some poor performances lately and not showing the form. I believe it would be a little bit too soon to write him off just yet. Talk about this a lot, but I feel like neither Milik or Keane is exactly thriving, so I don't think it's just an individual problem. I think it's a team-based problem. So I'm not giving up hope on Dusan just yet. Ball's thrown back in, and Sandro just plays it deep for Lazio there so they can take over. Not sure why Romagnoli's so fired up about that. But Juve really needs to, I think, do much, much more in this one. We are passengers so far. 63% possession for Lazio. 5 total attempts, 2 on target. Juve with 1 attempt. Simply not good enough a half hour into this match. Quadrado now cutting this play out, but Immobile retains possession for Lazio. Oh, man. Isaj doing very well there. No foul called on Fagioli as he cleans it up. Ball played forward. Kostic couldn't settle it. That's going to be played off his hand, but advantage given to Lazio. Another foul there. The ref does call it. Calls it down. Yeah, Juve's really surrendering a lot in this one. Really surrendering a lot. Marusich's ball forward in that. Yeah. Drops his arm back there. Could be a yellow, to be honest. Could be a yellow there. Almost seems on purpose. I believe this is this in reference to us dropping back so much? They're playing us completely apart. It's yeah, here's another set piece that Juve has to deal with. We need to shift the balance of this game. If it continues this way, we're going to be in a lot of trouble, I feel. Here's Luis Alberto. Short pass to the top, and it's struck by Immobile, but wide. That might have deflected. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, Immobile runs back. No, I think he just ends up missing it. Yeah, he does. Goal kick for Juventus. But again, these zones, and we're not manning up. Like, nobody follows Immobile on that play. We just allow him to run back and be that option. We got to start marking up. Enough of the zone on set pieces and corners. We've given up 2 free headers. Now a free shot from the top of the box. Center, top of the box. Let's go. Sandro in possession now. Carries the ball. Still looking for options. Now moves it to Locatelli, who's dropped all the way back, even with our center backs. Rabiot now shift over to the right a bit more. Fagioli has moved. Di Maria. Fagioli finds himself in the center, level with our striker. Sandro just trying to keep possession here. Looking for options. Move the ball, please. Bremer. Finding Locatelli, who's drifted to the left now. Up ahead for Di Maria. Di Maria moving it forward, trying to find Kostic. There's 3 players there. Can't get the ball through. Rabiot gets stuck in there, winning the ball back as we try to find Immobile there. Locatelli moves it to the right for Gatti. It's so congested in the middle. You have to look elsewhere. Here's a cross ball for Gatti. Played inside from Kostic to Di Maria. Now we've gained that field possession, but Felipe Anderson sees it out. It's going to be Juventus throw-in. What did I say about attacking the corners and corner balls in order to gain that possession? There's a prime example. Gatti plays a corner ball for Kostic, and then we gain that field. Have to do that. Start pushing them back. Here's Di Maria running at Lazio's defense. Oh, takes an extra touch. Had Kostic just make the simple pass. Di Maria trying to do a little too much there with a 1-2 touch and then to send Kostic through. Just got to send him through early. Just got to send him through early. Come on. Let's go. Let's go, Juve. Wake up. It's been 34 minutes. Wake up. There's a throw-in. Bremer heads it down for Rabiot. He's going to settle it, go all the way back for Quadrado. Bad touch for Quadrado, but we're still not in trouble as he plays it back for Szczesny. Szczesny's going to regroup, take his time. Now launch it over to the flank. Looking Rabiot's way, who settles it. Cuts back inside, still scanning. Locatelli's man marked by Immobile. They just keep trying to take away that central figure. We have to go elsewhere. Sandro now popping this one forward, looking Vlahovic's way. It's headed down. Di Maria does well to get involved. Oh my God, he just can't get the touch right. He's looking for a call. Fagioli's run down. Here's a long ball played forward, but Bremer watching Immobile, sticking to him, and we get the possession back. Oh, there's a ball that's almost cut out there. It is cut out, but back in Juve's possession as Sandro was trying to find Kostic. He plays it to Rabiot. Rabiot now over to Gatti, and Juventus will regroup. Di Maria has got to pick it up here. Got to pick it up here. I agree, Ron. Di Maria, got to get it going. Got to get it going. I thought he was pretty soft in the last showing too, so I need much, much more from him here. Gatti over for Bremer. Bremer, back to Gatti. To Szczesny. Come on. Bremer. Back to Gatti. Up for Cuadrado. Quick look. Gotta let it go. Played forward, but Di Maria has it all the way back for Szczesny. You're going to have to start launching the ball up. You're going to have to start finding ways to get down there. The short passes are taken away. The middle is completely flooded. You guys will sit here for an entire day passing the ball around the perimeter and at the back. You have to start taking some chances and start playing the ball long. That is an awful switch field ball from Di Maria. And that goes out of bounds for a Lazio throw. Marusic now. Casale. And Lazio able to gain our half very easily. Here's Hisaj now on the left, but he's going to play back for Romagnoli. Very, very sloppy from Juventus here. Very, very sloppy. Here's Anderson. He's gotten in behind on the right. Drops it to the top and lovely follow through from Fagioli. Kostic now back for Locatelli. Man, our players' highlights right now have all been defensive plays. And that includes our midfielders. It also includes Vlahovic. This is a problem. Let's go. 37-minute Lazio. Zaccagni. Back for Luis Alberto. He continues to scan. Cataldi back to Luis Alberto. Over for Zaccagni. Cuadrado watching him. He's going to cut, try and cross one in. It's deflected. Anderson stops it at the top of the area. Flicks it on for Cataldi, but now always moving backwards. But Luis Alberto on and now back out. Zaccagni again. Cuadrado watching him. Cuts. Here's Fagioli watching him. Cross back post. Sandro. There's a shove there from Sergej Milinkovic-Savic. He ends up burying it. Are we not going to get the call there? Are we not going to get the call? Wow. Wow. You've got to be kidding me here. Cross in. That's a clear nudge. His arms aren't there, but he knows what he's doing. There's a little push off with the right hand while he's in the air. I don't know if Sandro's trying to sell it too much, everybody. What do we think, chat? I think that's gnarly. In the air, there's an arm extended. VAR is definitely going to be looking at that. From there on, after he settles that, no chance for Tech. What are we talking about here, though? Checking the goal. You've got to check this. It's very, very light, and if Sandro's trying to sell it in that scenario, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, but if he's trying to sell in that scenario, you've got to man up, man. You've got to man up. I hope to God this is called, otherwise, Sandro, man, I'm going to be losing it. That's a very, very light contact, man. The goal stands. My God, Sandro, toughen up. What are we doing here? Red card distributed. This has been an absolutely dreadful first half of football for Juventus, and that is piss poor goal to allow. Honestly, Sandro trying to sell that, you got to be damn sure. Like, it's got to be enough contact. You got to be ready to make that stand, but that has looked very, very soft. It looks like Bonucci's got a yellow, apparently. Still not sure who's got the red. That's very, very weak from Sandro. I agree, Hamad. Absolutely dreadful. Absolutely dreadful. Juventus in possession now. Bremer. Locatelli. Sandro. Over to Gatti. And now we have that adverse scenario that it's a shame if this is what it takes for us to actually wake up and play some damn football. But hey, let's play some damn football. Sandro going over to the right corner, trying to find Di Maria. Doesn't make it past Hisaj. Quadrado forcing up. Di Maria, quick touch inside for Fagioli. Fagioli is going to pop this one over the top, looking for Vlahovic. Kostic settles it. Just can't line up for a shot. Sandro now plays it over to the side for Bremer. Bremer is going to play it over for Juan Cuadrado. Juan Cuadrado's facing Zaccagni. He gets inside the area, has a low hard cross. It's deflected out. It's going to be a corner kick for Juventus. Imagine that. Imagine Juventus needing an adverse scenario to finally wake up and play some fucking football. Let's go, everybody. Come on. A staff member. It was a staff member seeing red for Juventus. Let's go. Wake up. Equal this one up. Here's a corner kick. Di Maria has it in. It's in, swinging, headed on, and Rabiot sees it in. Sees it in, Rabiot. Rabiot. There you go, Juve. Let's go, everybody. Let's go. We're back in here. Let's go. It's about time we wake up. Let's keep it rolling now, all right? Chalk this one up. Beautiful. Adrien Rabiot sees it in for Juventus, and congratulations to Jeremiah. That gets the kit. But wait. No, I don't think there's anything there. No, we're good. We're good. Headed down. Headed down. No way. Headed down from Bremer. Rebound. Nicked off his knee. Kicks it at the goalie, then heads it down and in. That's in. That is in, baby. Adrien Rabiot again for Juventus. Beautiful. Beautiful. Love it. Love the response. Okay, so make a big mistake. We get out of it. Now it's time to take it to them. They are checking this. Again, I don't see anything on those replays that they can do to take this one away. Goal. There we go, everybody. There we go. Let's go. The crazy horse does it again for Juventus. All right. He gets our first one in here. Boom. Headed down. Bremer, massive on that one again. This was absolutely beautiful to get back in there and do so quickly, okay? 43 minutes. Again, Juve off the hook here because of this play. But we have to wake up and do better. Lazio in possession now. Coming back. Zaccagni now. Trying to make his cuts. He does. He's running at Gatti. Gatti gets a corner. This cross, though, is beyond Anderson. It's going to go out for the throw-in on the other side. And hey, here's a point. Maybe we needed that Lazio goal to wake us up. Either way, it's 1-1. Let's move. Sandro with a throw-in, looking Rabiot's way. It's flicked on. Vlahovic giving chase. It's going to go all the way back to the keeper. Provedel to Casale to Marusic. Played up for Felipe Anderson. Little touch inside to the middle of the pitch. There's a foul from Sandro. He's going to get a yellow card there. Had to take that foul as he was losing a step big time. Professional foul there. Take the yellow. The Juve fans in the away sector now on fire. We needed that goal. But we need much better overall. Still need much, much better overall. Romagnoli. Zaccagni. Back to Isaj. Back to Romagnoli. Man, the 13 and the 15 on these this new Serie A font are so similar. Like Romagnoli and Casale at the back there, their numbers look identical. Looks like they're both wearing 15 to me. Locatelli doing well, playing it for Rabiot. Rabiot's being put under. Has to go back for Sandro. Sandro trying to decide what he's going to do. Playing it back now for Szczesny. Just get rid of it, man. Just pass the ball around. Just move it around. Here's Gatti. We've got 3 minutes of added time, everybody. I'm going to shut down the clock at 46 minutes, everybody, for the last 2 minutes of the added time. Locatelli steps in here. Lazio still finding Immobile in the area, surrounded by black shirts. Here's a ball over the top, looking Sergej Milinkovic-Savic's way, headed out by Sandro, then flicked on by Di Maria, only as far as Romagnoli. Saj on it. He's going to cross this one in. Sandro clears it out. And now Juve just gets it again, only as far back as Romagnoli. Cataldi on it. Over to Marusic. Kostic now closes him down quickly, pushes him back. Vlahovic has a lot of space to break down on Casale here. Plays it over for Romagnoli. Romagnoli to Isaj. Has Cataldi coming inside, plays it up for Zaccagni. Zaccagni tries to make a turn in. He does, but Gatti intercepts the pass, plays it for Luca. Now to Fagioli, back to Locatelli. And just looking for options, and we're really slow to move when we regain that possession and hit our positions so that we can actually move it and move forward. We're at 47 minutes. There's 1 more minute left in the stoppage time. Locatelli ends up getting closed down by 2 players and stripped. Locatelli gets a yellow now. He's challenged by 2 players. Comes out. Gets the ball, plays it away. I got to see a better look at this one. Oh, it's a slide-in challenge. Yeah, that's a little bit over-aggressive there. Getting Sergej in the knee. That's pretty bad. Pretty bad. Easy yellow card there. Easy yellow card there. Man. So, give you all a recap here. All right, so far we have Sandro and Locatelli on a yellow. If you're looking at statistics, it's 58%. Juve's chewed into that original 69 quite nicely, but 6 total attempts for Lazio, 3 on target, 4 total attempts for Juve, 3 on target. 1-1 game. Only 1 corner kick for Juve, and we got the goal. Here's a ball going back post, but it's too far for Lazio to do anything with. Szczesny's going to have a goal kick here, but we're at 48 minutes, 30 seconds. Should be shut down, and it is. We have halftime. I agree with you, Arash. You know what? Locatelli's pretty lucky on that one. I think he's pretty lucky to get away with just a yellow there. Very, very aggressive challenge there. Yeah, just gonna look at some of the ratings here. I'll give you some of the ratings coming out of the first half. Please keep in mind, everybody, this is SofaScore. This is not me, so do not destroy me. Let's just talk about it and what it is, okay? We have Szczesny at 6.7. We have Gatti at 6.4. We have Bremer at 6.8. Sandro at 6.8. Juan at 6.2, Fagioli 6.6, Locatelli 6.7, Rabiot at 7.2, Kostic at 6.4, Di Maria at 6.7, Vlahovic at 6.9. Right away, 2 things that stick out to me is I don't know how you decipher that Cuadrado is the lowest out of our team, but I disagree with that. I strongly disagree that Gatti has a lower rating than Sandro. That should not be the case. Locatelli and Fagioli and Rabiot, So Fagioli 6.6, Locatelli 6.7. I could deal with that. Locatelli pretty much being taken out of this game by Lazio. Same with Fagioli. He's got to find a way. Fagioli being in a Mezzala role has to find a way to get involved. Rabiot has that goal. Huge on that one and a huge shift for Juve. Needed it. Kostic 6.4. Again, we haven't been using them as we need to. Di Maria with a 6.7. For me, he should not. Di Maria should not be hovering around a 7 in this one. If anything, he went down half a point for me in that one. I think he was pretty bad. Needs to be much better. Vlahovic at 6.9. Not really seeing it either, but more so not because of him, but because of the game and what it's doing. So for me, Rabiot does instantly get the boost over everybody because of that goal. It was a massive goal, but also because of the work he's doing in the midfield. He's trying his best to work very, very hard. So again, we got to get it going. Now, I want to say this. Congratulations, because you have won the kit, Jeremiah. That was the goal you needed, the Rabiot kit, okay? It doesn't have to be a Rabiot kit. It could be whatever kit you decide with whatever player, but congratulations, all right? Happy for you. Now, let's get into this. So, Marlon asking where I got this jersey. This is actually an Icons jersey from several years ago, and it is still available on some vintage sites and whatnot. You can find it still quite easily. It's a beautiful, beautiful kit. I always thought very, very underrated. The Icon kits have been class. Now, we talk about ratings here. Let's talk about some of the comments coming out of the chat here in this one so far. So playing with Di Maria is like playing with one man down. Very selfish. I don't know if it's necessarily very selfish, but for me, I've always said like Di Maria is a world-class player. Playing in this role, what we've seen is exactly what we're getting. He went through a streak there where he was on fire. But then if you think back to the start of the season, it wasn't very good. And you think of it again, a couple matches now. Well, one game and then this half, it's been... We need a lot more from Di Maria. So whatever it is, he's got to get sharper. But this is not even a role thing today for me, because he had moments to make passes where he was just choosing to hold it way too long. He had an easy, simple pass laid ahead for Kostic when he was making that run beyond Lazio's defense. And he held it and then tried to do a quick 1-2 to get the pass. Or you could have just laid one simple pass. It's done. It's good. So again, we got to do better. Di Maria, I need much, much more from him. I think how we're trying to hurt Lazio is essentially just not working, okay? Because we're not even trying to hurt them truly. We need to take advantage of some diagonals, okay? Switching field. What they're doing is flooding the midfield and then overloading a side. Okay, so what they're essentially doing is taking away our midfield, and then when we do play it to a flank, they shut it down by just swarming it. You could see that on Rabiot, on Kostic. You could see it on the other side on Fagioli and Cuadrado, and even Di Maria when he drifts to the flanks. Juve is going to have to activate one of those three CBs and push some of those wingbacks forward earlier and start hitting some switch fields and some diagonals to try and hurt Lazio. We are also going to have to try and move Dusan out of the center over to the corners in order to have a target and play closer to him so that we can get involved. If we don't do this, and if we want to continue working with short passes in and around the perimeters, we're going to struggle. However, if we start taking advantage and start looking a little more to go over their defense and do what we did right before that corner kick that saw us get the tying goal, which is put more pressure on Lazio. So first, you got to gain that space. You got to gain that section of the field. Then you do have to commit and apply pressure. We did exactly that. We earned the corner kick, and then Rabiot rewards us, okay? So we have to do that. We have to do that. One way or another, it's got to be better than the first half, okay? So let's get to more of your comments, all right? Master G saying, you can't fully blame Di Maria and Vlahovic this game. Ball's not moving forward. The ball is stuck in the back with side passes. I don't disagree with you. Don't disagree with you whatsoever. However, I'm more critical of the moments when they do get the ball at their feet and moments when they are holding it too long when they do need to move it. That's all. But I do not disagree with you whatsoever that we are stuck in limbo towards the back and the mid far too much in this one so far, okay? And Edgar saying that the push on Alexandro is an obvious foul. Referee Nick is going to give us our full write-up on the podcast yesterday, but he actually messaged me and I got it, and he said, good call on both goals. So he says it's a good call, it's a goal. Again, take that for what you want. I think at live look, I felt pretty pissed off. After seeing the replay, it was a very, very soft touch, and I think Sandro was trying to sell it. That's just me. Jeremiah. Both Luca and Fagioli are being overrun in the mid. Yes. Kostic quiet too. The midfield is poor, sluggish, and demotivated. Yeah. I think overall, this is a game plan thing, and I don't like it. I don't think it's the players per se. I think it's the strategy and what we need to do to Lazio. Credit to Lazio, because the last few times we played them, they have been toothless. But they have made changes, and a big one is having Luis Alberto as your quarterback as opposed to Sergei Milinkovic-Savic changes everything. But credit where credit's due. Lazio's doing a good job in this game. We need to do better. We need to ramp up the tempo, first of all. But definitely the pressure. Now, Dell's saying maybe we just got to weather the storm and just counter when we can. The problem with that is that Lazio's been able to put us under with, honestly, not a huge amount of numbers and not a huge amount of pressure. So they actually still, for the most part, have 3, sometimes 4 back. And if you're trying to counter on that, it's still going to be stretched for us because it'll be at most 3. So we're not going to gain some intense counter scenarios against them. Maybe enough to create some problems here and there. But I think if you're trying to go with that as an overall strategy, I think we might suffer way too much in order to make that effective. But that's just me. Again, hey, thank you so much for the love. Okay. I hope this channel grows, one of the most consistent. Hey, I appreciate it. All we ask for is, like I said, share the content. Sharing the content is massive. Everything else you guys choose to do, super chat is enabled, our store, the merchandise. Okay. And now memberships, we appreciate and love it all. But the easiest too as well is just sharing the content. I believe we will grow, and we are doing so every season. And one thing's for sure, we all love what we're doing. We're having a blast, all right? But thank you for the kind words, all right? Now, Animash saying the players need Allegri going mad on the sidelines. Maybe we need Mad Max. When at the beginning of your jump, a slight push really propels you through the air. Okay, fair enough. Like I said, to each their own. Is what it is, right? Is what it is. I hope you find it too. And you know what? If you reach out to me on Twitter or Instagram or any of our mains and whatnot, I'll help you find it, because I literally, anytime I put this on, I get that. I actually found one for somebody not that long ago. I will help you out, okay? Just reach out to me on one of our socials, okay? But yeah, absolutely. I think we need to just find something. We have to change something. I'm very nervous about getting into this as a counter-attacking game going into the second half, all right? Again, I will remind everybody of the statistics, okay? So collaborations, yes, we love collaboration. Bianconeri Zone, we will be doing another podcast with the Bianconeri Zone. We are starting to do those with them potentially every 2 to 3 weeks. Okay, great group of guys as well. And there you go. And massive thank you, Oliver. All right, really appreciate it. Thank you for the support and the kind words. Let's get in here to some more of this. The statistics, everybody. Promised you the statistics. Here they are. 58% ball possession for Lazio, 42% for Juventus. 6 total attempts for Lazio, 4 total attempts for Juve. We have 3 shots on target from both sides. If you're looking at big chances, they say Juve has created 3 big chances and has missed 2 big chances. I must have been missing something where we have created 3 big chances. What did I miss? That header? Did they count that header as a big chance? I must be missing it. They're giving Lazio one big chance and no big chances missed as he scored. 3 big chances for Juve? Interesting. Not so sure about that one. Yeah, I'm with you, Marco. What chances are we talking about? 3 big chances according to SofaScore. I think whoever's running SofaScore today might have done so after partaking in a certain activity. Yeah, that's false. Definitely didn't have 3 big chances created, okay? But let's see what happens. Dusan can't shake being marked. But again, there's not enough numbers forward with him, right? There's not enough with him. It's very broken up and we're very spaced out. So again, I don't know. That header one, that one he got, again, just couldn't get high enough to get direct that one to goal. That was better from Juve, but way too few and far between. Way too few and far between for Juventus to try and give Lazio real problems. This is going to be very, very interesting to see if Landucci ends up making any calls. It's going to be interesting to see. Usually these things can kind of get mapped out beforehand. Like sometimes coaches will say, okay, here's our starting lineup. If this is what's happening at this point of the game, and this is where we're at score-wise or whatnot, and then they kind of have a strategy based on substitutions. And then again, that changes. But I very much always wonder how much is in Landucci's control and how much he is just literally deciding on the spot. I've always wondered that because I think it actually does change from management teams. I think what one team does is not necessarily the same or consistent throughout all. So it's very, very interesting to see if any changes will be made. Jeremiah believes Milik should come in and Dusan should come out. And the game will change. Trust me on this. Come on, Landucci. Well, as we all know, Landucci, Allegri, they all watched the AJC, baby. So, Landucci, let's go. Trust Jeremiah here. I'm actually not against making that type of change, but I'm going to be quite honest with you. I'm not so sure I take Vlahovic out of this one. I would be fine if Milik came on and even Di Maria came out, to be honest. And I think the game changes significantly because Milik will stick closer to Vlahovic while still offering that pivot play and whatnot. Di Maria right now probably disappointed me the most out of all our players, outside of probably Sandro on that play for the goal, to be quite honest with you. Outside of that, I need way, way more from Di Maria. Now, we are getting ready to get back into the second half, everybody. All right. And I'm getting pumped up here. We're seeing Chiesa warming up here. We just continue to wait for our gem, our jewel, Federico Chiesa, to get back in here and get going. Man, that would be epic for Federico Chiesa to step into this one and break the deadlock one way or another. Let's hope for a much, much better and stronger second half from Juve, everybody, all right? We get the chance going. We get fired up. Let's go. We see the players coming out of the tunnel now. There's the crazy horse himself, Adrian Rabiot. Congratulations to Jeremiah. I can't wait to see our own member, Lou, who admits he has just never liked Adrian Rabiot, all right? I can't wait to see him buy that kit because Adrian Rabiot has done it and has won the wager we put on with Jeremiah, all right? So there you have it. We look at Fagioli there. He's going to want to look to get much more involved in the second half here. But let's go. Let's go. Is a 3-5-1-1 the right formation for this match? I don't think formation... I think it's fine for this match, to be honest. But I think the defenders on either side of Bremer need to start pushing our wing backs further forward. And we have to start doing much, much more than just these short passes. The second half has kicked off, everybody. I'm going to wait for the clock to catch up before I get it fired up again. But let's go. Let's go. Switch field for Di Maria. Lovely pass in for Cuadrado. Cuadrado, he's going to cross it one time for Vlahovic. Just over his head. Rabiot stops it. Has a hit. It's blocked. It goes up and Provedel's going to come out and catch it. Oh, man. Oh, man. That's a good positive start. Hey, look. I told you they listen. Di Maria now picks it up already in the second half. Already that's better than what we saw in the first. He's listening to me, everybody. I tell you. Cuadrado now. Sees this ball out. It's going to be Lazio throw. And Chiesa has the penny on. He continues to warm up. Let's go. He's getting the cheers from the Juve faithful in the away sector here. We're almost caught up on the clock here. Romagnoli going up for Hisaj. And we are now level on the clocks. Here's Di Maria. Taking on 3 Lazio players. Look at this. Much, much better this half already from Di Maria. Looking back post, but it's over Vlahovic's head. Vlahovic still has 3 defenders around him there. That's what I mean by getting other players closer to him, like Rabiot, whatnot. Kostic on a back post scenario. Need to draw more attention also away from him. But Di Maria already miles ahead of that first half. So kudos to him. Bravo. Much, much better. Keep it up now. Let's go. Head it up. Bremer for Sandro. Flips it over to Gatti. Gatti getting chased by Immobile. And now he looks to bomb this one forward. Looked like a late challenge in on him. But Di Maria telling Gatti to calm it down. Slow it down. Pass inside for Sergej Milinkovic-Savic. Back outside to Marusic. He's going to go up the flank here, looking Felipe Anderson's way back for Sergej Milinkovic-Savic. And that's cleaned up. Kostic now running back. That's a foul. Easy foul there as Kostic turned and Milinkovic-Savic just grabbed him and held him. You really can't complain about that, Sergej. Come on. Milik now warming up. Multiple Juve players are warming up. Let's go. Here's the cross in. Going back post. Gatti. Oh, just goes to the top of the area and Luis Alberto cleans it up. But he's under chase here from Gatti. Oh, no. We allow him to turn. Big mistake there from Fagioli as well. Zaccagni flips it over for Felipe Anderson. One touch in for Immobile. He's in the area but moving out of it. Locatelli goes to close him down. Felipe Anderson now has Sergej Milinkovic-Savic at the top here. Played back for Felipe Anderson. Crossing scenario. Here comes a low cross and that's seen out. Locatelli keeps it from going out for a corner kick. It's going to be a throw-in. Good job from Locatelli to prevent that. Yelling at Sandro to take up his position so he can go back into the midfield. Rightfully so. Let's go. Come on. Come on. Throw in for Lazio. They go to the back here. They're going to work it around the perimeter. Over to Hisaj now on the left. Hisaj closed down by Fagioli. Vlahovic, Di Maria. Give little chase at the top. Here's Luis Alberto. Fagioli watching him. Plays over for Marusic, who's stepping forward. Playing it now. Over to the side for Felipe Anderson. Deep ball in for Marusic. Going to try and cross it. He does. And Szczesny comes out and gets it. Easily handled. All right. Ball back in play with Bremer. Just scanning. Very, very slow here. Again, from Juventus. Szczesny scanning. Now he's going to go cross field looking Kostic's way. Aerial battle here. He can only get it as far as Cataldi. To Sergej Milinkovic-Savic. Back to Romagnoli. Back to Sergej Milinkovic-Savic. Closed down, but very slowly from Di Maria and Kostic there. Still trying to keep tabs on their main marks. Here's Hisaj, up for Zaccagni, back to Hisaj. Late foul there from Cuadrado. He's going to see yellow. Very, very unnecessary there from one. Very, very unnecessary. Very, very, very unnecessary. I'm not sure why you do that. We just had another player on yellows here. De Sciglio is out with a flu. We need you for a full game. Absolutely no need for silliness like that. The ball's long gone. You're putting a knee and thigh into his hammy. Let's go. Let's go, Juan. 50 minutes in here. Lazio on possession. Juventus has dropped, not quite as far back as they were for most of the first half. But we seem pot committed to a counter game, everybody. We seem pot committed to it. Provedel with it. Juve moves their line forward. Saj able to settle this. Flick on for Zaccagni. And there's a foul there. Gatti going in hard after the foul's called there, but late whistle there. Saj getting his cleat on Quadrado's ankle. Silanducci trying to fire up the men. Sarri looking at his watch, thinking if it's time for another smoke. Let's see. Gatti now over to Bremer. Given chase from Sergej Milinkovic-Savic. Sandro now. Back to Bremer. Immobile watching him. He's got Gatti on the right, plays it to him. Quadrado has dropped all the way down, and Gatti plays it to him. Quadrado takes it in, goes back for Gatti. You have Bremer on that side, play to him quick. We go back to Szczesny. They're inching forward on switch plays, but you still have to take them. You have to move them. Here's Di Maria now. He's able to cut. He's going to switch a field. Goes all the way over to Sandro now. Sandro scanning. Trying to go over the top. Find Vlahovic. Oh, you have to settle that, Dusan. You have to settle that. It's a good ball. It's a good look. And we would have been running at Lazio. Critical to settle that ball down. Rabiot doing great work in there. Fagioli getting stuck in. Luis Alberto and Cataldi trying to make their way out of there, finding Sergej Milinkovic-Savic, who finds Felipe Anderson. Now Lazio running at Juve's defense. Sandro just trying to maintain here. Low cross in. Luis Alberto back heel, and that's a goal. That's actually a nice goal. That is actually a nice goal. It kills me. It kills me. But we lost our mark. Lost our mark, and that's a hell of a back heel from Luis Alberto. Again, we've got to be able to go at Lazio. Lazio finding the 2-1 goal. My word, everybody. That's actually a nice goal. Frustrating that we lost our marks on that one, all right? Very, very frustrating. Hell of a backheel pass from Luis Alberto. Nobody saw that coming. So we hear Sandro trying to maintain there. Can't. Quadrado has to give in. Goes ahead of Gatti. And to be honest, if Quadrado hadn't closed that, that's a mishap between Quadrado and Gatti. Gatti follows Immobile way too deep in to where Bremer's territory is. And it takes him away there, and it forces Juan to have to make a decision there. So either he stays on his man and Luis Alberto has space there to just hit it himself, or he's got to jump in there and force him to do something. Unfortunately, what Luis Alberto did was absolutely beautiful. We're back in. It's 2-1. Sucks there, but yeah, Gatti's got to communicate to Bremer there rather than just follow him all the way down there. But hey, shit happens. Let's go. Quadrado now. Up ahead for Di Maria. Tries to beat his Saj there and loses it. And now they play it all the way back to Provedel. More work to do for Juventus. Much, much more work. Cherry. Come on. Come on, Cherry. Let's go. Let's see if we can get it going. Cataldi's really annoying me with how much he is bitching to the ref here. every single time today. On every single play. All right. Back in play. Lazio moving back to Provedel. Di Maria puts pressure, forces him to launch that. He does. Bremer gets engaged with Immobile for a header. Sandro now heads it, but only as far as Sergej Milinkovic-Savic. Rabiot trying to step in and win it, but he doesn't. Felipe Anderson now able to come back at Juventus. Rabiot closes him down. Kostic now beaten by Marusic there. Kostic really... here's a... Oh my God, a through ball. Through everybody. Called offside immediately, though. Called offside immediately. They are going to look at this. I really hope this doesn't count, everybody, or we are done. Oh, he's offside. He is offside. He is offside, everybody. He is offside. Wow. So we are allowed to breathe here, everybody. Okay. It's offside here. But we have fallen asleep at the back. There is major problems from our right side. Gatti and Quadrado all of a sudden. Major, major problems. Here's Quadrado now trying to get involved, move forward. Does get the call here on Zaccagni. We got to sharpen up here. Very, very fortunate there. But he is offside. And now Juve has to get back at Lazio here. Got to equalize here. Ball back from Quadrado to Bremer. Played over for Sandro. Sandro moving forward. Tries to launch this one. It sees itself out for a throw-in off of Felipe Anderson. There are substitutions being made by Juve. It looks like 3 players set to come on. Chiesa, Milik, and Paredes. So Juve going with some major changes. 57 minutes, 30 seconds in. We're going to have some major changes. Let's see how it works out. Oh, bad back pass from Di Maria there. Trying to play this one beyond Gatti for Hisaj there, but he cleans it up. Juve can regroup. Sandro now stepping forward. Di Maria wants it over here. He gets it. He's got space to carry forward. Quadrado inching forward up the right flank. Di Maria decides to cut inside centrally. Now going back out, playing it to Fagioli. Fagioli over to Quadrado. Now Fagioli moves forward. Quadrado back to Locatelli. Locatelli for Rabiot. Rabiot holding it, playing it to Di Maria. Makes a run forward. Rabiot, nice through ball for Kostic. Kostic comes in, tries to go back into a trailing run, but it's cleared out. Only as far as Sandro. Heads it out for Rabiot. Little 1-2. Sandro's in the area. Playing it for Kostic. Low hard cross. It's blocked. It's going to be corner kick for Juventus. I believe this is only our second corner kick of the game. All right. Let's get in here. Everybody yelling Quadrado out. Quadrado out. I don't know the solution, everybody. We have no other right wing back unless we completely change the game plan and decide to bring in somebody to play as a fullback and go to a back 4. But I don't necessarily know if I do that. Cross in. Cleared out by Lazio. Fagioli dropping back to clean it up. He quickly plays it in. Kostic is going to line this one up. Cross coming in. It's blocked. Zaccagni now. Little quick give and go with Sergej Milinkovic-Savic. Little inside play for Felipe Anderson. And look out because Lazio's running at Juve. Nicely done by Fagioli. Regains a setup for Juve. Rabiot now. Quadrado wants it ahead of him. Rabiot eats it. Now plays it to him. Back for Rabiot. We are moving forward. Vlahovic is all the way on the right byline. Now he's running into a centralized role. Quadrado still wants the ball. Di Maria trying to do too much. Rabiot challenged, but now Lazio's running at us yet again. Immobile running at Gatti. Closes him down a bit. Gatti still in tight for Immobile. Plays it to the top of the area. That's a one hit, and it's blocked by Sandro. Sergej Milinkovic-Savic stepping up into here. We are giving them way too much space. We're all out of sorts defensively. We need to regain control, everybody. We just can't allow them to keep playing this way. We're at a standstill right now, too. Even just in shape defensively. Locatelli being the furthest one forward, offering pressure. Come on, Juve. Let's go. I share these sentiments, Ron. I really, really do, my friend. Hisaj. Over for Zaccagni. Taking on Cuadrado. Cross in. Chested down for Szczesny from Sandro there. 60 minutes. The substitutions are waiting. They just need the ball to go out of play. And Juve will switch. Sandro. Over to Gatti. Lazio has players warming up as well right now. Sandro. Up for Locatelli. Can only go back as he's quickly closed down. The middle is not available to us, everybody. At this point, you just have to use it as a position to essentially keep them honest. But you do have to move forward. That's a nice play from Rabiot. Di Maria can try to take Hisaj on. Cuts it back to the top of the area for Rabiot. Rabiot trying to line up a shot. Playing it over for Kostic, who started to make a run. He does turn Anderson, but he's all the way on the line. Playing it back for Sandro. Now in for Locatelli. Locatelli is going to play it all the way over for Cuadrado, who settles it. He's got Di Maria to his right. He stops it completely. Over to Sandro. Sandro stepping up. Little pop forward for... Oh, Vlahovic just misses the header. Oh, man. Oh, there's another one. Lovely play from Sandro there. Lovely flip ball there. And Vlahovic can't direct that on target. Come on, big man. Come on. Let's go. Much better from Juventus. We are getting substitutions now. 62 minutes in. Locatelli will be substituted for Paredes. We have Vlahovic coming out for Milik. And we have Federico Chiesa coming on for Filip Kostic. So we remain with Di Maria there. Milik will come on, and now Kostic will be substituted off. And to be honest, Kostic has not looked himself to me. Here's Bremer. Heading it in. And Di Maria through the back. He's going to earn the call there on Hisaj. Paredes trying to grab the ball here. Come on, we need some magic here. We need some magic here. Yes, Paredes for Luca, everybody. Paredes for Luca. Luca is out. All right. Let's see what happens here. Chiesa applying pressure, yelling for everybody to bomb it forward. Him and Milik were up there. It's played off of Sandro. It's going to be Lazio throw deep in. Chiesa barking orders in terms of the press and what they want to try and do here. Lazio making a change now. It's going to be Pedro. Pedro's going to enter the pitch for Ciro Immobile. Oh, man. How do we feel about these substitutions, everybody? So Chiesa already looks advanced. It looks like it's not going to play out as a 3-5-1-1. Milik for Vlahovic. Yeah, you know what? I'm fine with it. Di Maria, better than the first half so far in the second, but still, I want way, way more. Because I thought his first half was pretty poor. Bremer cleans this one up on the side. He's going to play it back for Szczesny. Gatti's there. Bremer's there. Cuadrado moving out to the flank. Gatti now to Cuadrado on the right. Scanning. Has nowhere really to go. Left-footed pass inside for Paredes. Paredes now carrying it forward. Feints to his left. Goes to his right. Now back to his left only to play it 2 feet away to Bremer. My God, man. Pull the trigger. Let's go. There were passing options there. Cuadrado for Di Maria here. Di Maria. Back for Cuadrado. Probably switch field all the way to Bremer. He does. No option on the left flank for Bremer at all. Di Maria now can run at Lazio's defense. Quadrado overlaps. Ball for Quadrado. Crossed in. Very, very weak. Cleared out by Lazio easily. It's going to be a Juventus throw-in. Here's Gatti for Di Maria. Di Maria switches it all the way over to Sandro. Sandro trying a little flick in for Rabiot. He does. Finding Chiesa. Chiesa up ahead for Rabiot. That's miles ahead of him. Easily going to be shielded out for a goal kick. That's a very poor ball forward from Chiesa. Come on, I know you just came on, but get into this one. Let's go. Way too far ahead. Rabiot almost kept that in for a throw-in. Almost. He's working his ass off today. Trying to beat the coverage. Trying to beat what Lazio's got going in there. He's trying his best. We got to send numbers. We got to get after this one. Pedro with Sandro all over him. Ends up drawing the foul. It'll be a Lazio free kick. Milinkovic-Savic leaves it. We see Vlahovic out, has an ice pack on his ankle. He looks choked. Absolutely choked. And to be honest, in this one, he had moments where he's got to do better. So I don't put the setup or the team play at all into this one. Here we go. Ball over to the side. Zaccagni. 1v1 with Quadrado. Inside for Felipe Anderson. Alberto settles it. Cataldi. Now to Milinkovic-Savic and they play it back out. Juve can regroup in terms of space. Chiesa wins that. But it doesn't stop for us. The ball played over Felipe Anderson's beyond Quadrado. Back heel. But Quadrado reads it. Oh, heavy collision there. Just going to be a foul on Quadrado. And this is in a good spot for Lazio. It's going to be in a very dangerous spot. Zaccagni is down. He is hurt. Quadrado was down for a bit. That was a heavy, heavy 50-50. Just outside the area where he taps him. There it is. Holy, is that ever close. So if anybody wants to tell me that Juve doesn't need fullbacks in the summer, I don't know. I don't know. I want to take Quadrado out of this game, but do we just bite the bullet and bring in Danilo and move to the back four? Which in terms we kind of have? You might have to. You might have to. Quadrado's on a shocker right now, man. He is on a shocker. This is in a very, very dangerous spot now. Luis Alberto and Pedro over it. Little one touch. He's going to hit it. Tries to curl it back post. But it's over. And Juve gets away unscathed. 2-1 down. 68 minutes. Closing in on 69 minutes. Holy. Let's go, everybody. Come on. See if we can muster out. And here you go. Here's Danilo coming in for Juventus. So Lazio will make a change as well. Vicino will come off, or sorry, in for Cataldi. Okay, so Vicino comes in. And Danilo is going to enter the pitch for Juan Quadrado. And you know what? Yeah. It's got to happen. Got to happen. Danilo comes in, takes the armband. Let's see what happens. Fino alla fine, everybody. See if we can make some noise. See if we can get this one equalized. And then from there, who knows? All right, ball back in play, launch forward. Milik doing battle. That's a foul on Lazio. And Milik getting called for this. What? I'm not sure on that one. Unless he's saying the player went down because of Milik, but he's literally playing at Milik's legs while he's on the ground. Lazio back in possession. Ball seen out off of Federico Chiesa. It's going to be a throw-in. Foul there. No foul for Bremer. Quickly, Sandro trying to find Di Maria. Tries to lay it in front of Fagioli, but it's cut out. Milik tries to settle it. A little too soft. Got to get stuck in. Here's Danilo closing things down on the right side. Danilo now. Moves inside centrally, carrying the ball, looking for options. Back out to the right side for Di Maria. Di Maria can run at Hisac. Closed down by Zaccagni. Ball back post. Oh, cleared out. Only as far as Sandro. Back for Paredes. Paredes over the top, looking for Di Maria there. Oh, lovely settle from Di Maria. He's in the area. Cross. Back for Milik. Rabiot trying to get in there. He has a hit. It's off a Lazio player. It's going to go out for a corner kick. Much better from Juventus, everybody. Much, much better. Come on. Push for that equalizer, boys. Let's go. You get an equalizer, who knows what can happen. Let's go. Come on. Corner's going to come in. It's Paredes to take. Let's go. The cross is in. Paredes. Going towards Provedel. He punches it. Just goes out. He's down, though, and play's going to be stopped. Gatti was coming in very, very hard. Collided. Provedel goes down. Taking a forearm to the chops for his troubles, but Provedel gets the job done and clears away. Let's go. Let's go, Juve. Start to make that push. Has to be said that was a good ball from Paredes, but the settle from Di Maria was absolutely disgusting. It was so good for him to keep that in on that. That's what we expect from Di Maria and a player of his talents. That was just tremendous, tremendous job settling that down. All right. From the 6-yard box, Lazio will return us to action. Hisac now doesn't keep that in. It's going to be a throw-in for Juventus. Danilo, Di Maria looking for the ball quickly. Gatti runs to grab one. Danilo back for Gatti. Over to Bremer. We're being backed up. Felipe Anderson putting pressure on him. Back for Szczesny. To Bremer. Bremer moving forward. Drops it for Sandro. Looking up the byline. He's going to try and play this one. It's well short of Chiesa. Nowhere close. A couple of quick touches and Lazio is beyond us. Nicely cut out there from Paredes. Milik just couldn't get that ball to settle for him. Man, we need to find Chiesa in some scenarios to run at Lazio. He looks raring to go right now. And we can't get him involved whatsoever. Lazio ends up trying to pump this one forward. Gatti and Anderson get involved, but Gatti loses it. Bremer cleans this one up and takes a piece of Sergej Milinkovic-Savic with him. Love it. Beast. Here's Gatti to Bremer. Danilo. Trying to go route one. Easily cut out. Paredes comes in, cleans it up. Nice quick touch to Fagioli. Fagioli has Di Maria there. Plays it to him. 1-2. Another 1-2. Di Maria in for Danilo. Plays it outside to Fagioli. Fagioli's going to have a cross in. He does. It's blocked by Hisac. And Fagioli's going to try and shield this out to see it out. But Hisac keeps it in. But it keeps on Juve. Oh, yeah, that's a foul on Hisac. An easy one. We've got a free kick in a good spot. What formation are we playing? We have typically moved into a 4-3-3. However, it might look a little bit different because of how much Di Maria is roaming, right? So, but it is your standard 4-3-3. It's just Di Maria's got like essentially complete freedom. And he is sticking more to the right side. So that's why I say working out of a 4-3-3. Di Maria set to take this set piece. Get ahead to it. Come on. Di Maria has it in. It's going back post. It's high. It's way too far. Way too far. Almost didn't start dropping until just before the board. That's about 10 yards behind the goal. Goal line, anyways. Man, unbelievable, unbelievable. Come on. Let's get this going here. Launched up from Provedel. Flicked on, but it's beyond Anderson, but Pedro gives chase. Gatti will play it to Szczesny. One touch from Szczesny, then has to put it out as he's being put under. Saj stops this in. Oh, Luis Alberto doesn't even have to touch that. Zaccagni's got steps, cuts back inside. Fagioli does well to get involved. We win at Paredes now, trying to maintain possession, have it out. His pass is cut out, but it's going to be Juventus throw-in. Little bit scrambly there. Sandro playing it forward. Chiesa now. He's on it. He's got really nowhere to go. Trying to play little 1-2s with Rabiot. Nicely done. The crazy horse lays it in for him. Chiesa. Quick left-footed cross in, but it's headed right back out. It's going to be a corner kick for Juventus. He was trying to hit Di Maria on that back post, and it was off Chiesa's bad foot, his left foot. Come on, Juve, keep pushing. Like I said, we got to get Chiesa involved, everybody. We have to get him involved. Paredes set up to take another corner. Get ahead to this. Come on. The cross is in. Going up towards Provedel. He punches it out. Lazio tries to clear Luis Alberto running. Little quick touch here for Pedro. Pedro just trying to chew up that time, chew up that space, and Sergej Milinkovic-Savic gets fouled by Federico Chiesa. And that's going to slow things down and allow Lazio to regroup. Also allow Juventus to get back, as Lazio could have potentially countered us there. Come on, everybody. Let's go. Get after this. Get after this, Juve. 2-1 right now, Lazio. 77th minute. Referee letting Provedel know to get this thing in play and stop wasting time. Here's Bremer engaged on a header here. It gets beyond. Sandro will head it back for Szczesny. Tossed out to Rabiot, headed back for Sandro. He's just trying to keep this, just trying to get the touch so he can roll this thing on the carpet. Ends up getting a foul from Pedro. As the pressure remains from Lazio, trying to keep Juve back. Bremer over to Sandro. Inside for Paredes. Back for Bremer. He's got Gatti to his right. He will play it to him. There's nobody on the right byline here. Danilo, don't even see him. He was more central. Di Maria now trying to switch field. Trying to hit Milik. Does well to Cancelo. Rabiot, quick touch for Fagioli. Fagioli has a hit. It's blocked. Had Danilo running on that backside, but Di Maria comes in. He's running at the area. Trying to take one too many touches as he's running that line. Danilo helps apply pressure. It's going to be a throw-in for Lazio deep in their own zone. But man, oh man. So tight there. Fagioli's shot ends up getting blocked. Had Danilo making that overlapping run on the right side. But I'm not going to fault him for having a go there. That was lined up in a good spot. Ball's bouncing back to Provedel. Chiesa gives light chase. It's pumped forward, but will go all the way back for Bremer. Is going to go all the way back for Tech. 79 minutes, 34 seconds. Juventus in possession through Gatti. Back for Paredes now, who's directing Gatti to move forward. Danilo now on the right line. Gatti goes all the way over to the far side for Chiesa. Now we're cooking here. Chiesa going all the way over to the opposite side for Di Maria. Di Maria heads it in. Keeps it in. Danilo looking, has Gatti. Now to Bremer. All the way over to the opposite side for Sandro. Rabiot showing support. Now he gets it. Trying to go inside for Milik. Juve just looking for opportunities, looking if there's some place they can make a breakthrough. Trying to play it inside for Milik, but he's put under. From both the front with Felipe Anderson dropping back and then behind him as well with Vicino. Not a lot of room in the middle for Juve to operate, and Lazio's done a good job at shutting that down in this game. Di Maria now has this one to Bremer. Now over for Gatti. Played forward for Danilo. Danilo tried to flick it over. Played it forward. Here's Di Maria. He's in the area. He's running. Oh, that's got to be a foul. No foul. No foul. Oh, man. Wow. Why didn't Di Maria hit that? Why didn't he hit that? Di Maria running into the area here, decides to lay it off for Chiesa. And Chiesa goes down, and we do not get the call. Man. Hey, I'll be quite honest with you, everybody. Yeah. He's done something to myself and other creators that I just don't stand for. So, yeah, I do. Di Maria. Oh, man. Thought he should have had a strike there, but that is an easy layoff for Chiesa. I'm shocked. Sergej Milinkovic-Savic in the thick of things again. We do not get anything. I thought Di Maria should have had a strike there. It's in a great spot. I don't know if we'll get as good a chance as that. Gatti cleaning this one up, playing it over for Danilo. Danilo over to Di Maria, who one times it, trying to look for Milik there just beyond him. He's got Romagnoli all over him there. Or sorry, Casale all over him. So, here's what it is. Here we go. Launch forward. Paredes over to Danilo. Danilo is going cross corner for Chiesa. Chiesa's got it. He's running at the defense. Chiesa beats his man. He's on his left foot. Cross it for Fagioli. One hit. Oh, it's over the bar. Oh my God, that was wonderfully worked from Juventus. Wonderfully worked. Chiesa ate up Marusic easily and lays one out there for Fagioli, who couldn't direct it on target. That was a fantastic opportunity. Fantastic opportunity. Man. Man, Enzo wanting Vlahovic still on there. Here's Fagioli over to Paredes, quickly playing it over to Danilo. Over to Di Maria, quickly trying to get it, but he gets that one all wrong, looking Milik's way. Here's Luis Alberto now able to run for Lazio. Little play on for Sergej Milinkovic-Savic, but Bremer comes in hard and cleans that one up, but his pass is soft for Chiesa. And now Pedro running back at Sandro. Sandro forcing him to his left, but Pedro now surrounded to Felipe Anderson. Quick touch out, and now Lazio's going to bring it back out. They're just going to kill some time here. Let's go. Come on. We got to get this going here. Sandro On for Chiesa. Chiesa megs his man. Taking on 3 players. Draws a foul there. Chiesa's into this one, everybody. We got to get him involved. He is into this one. Milinkovic-Savic getting the yellow. 85 minutes, 21 seconds. Time is running down. Time is running down. Little busy. Great to see you in here. Legend. Chiesa lit from Avar Danson. Yes, Chiesa chewed up Marusic on that. He's looking into it. We got to get going. Got to get going. Fagioli is out. Miretti is in. Fagioli shaking his head. No doubt. No doubt from that opportunity missed. Paredes playing it over to Gatti on the right. Gatti up for Miretti. Miretti now to Di Maria. He's quickly closed down by 2 Lazio players trying to take Hisaj on and doesn't earn the throw-in. It's going to be Lazio's throw-in there. Deep in their territory. Hisaj is definitely going to take his time here. Juve's got to press forward here. 86 minutes. 17 seconds in. Here's the throw-in. Flicked on. Only as far as Gatti. Pumps it back in. Looking Milik's way. Header up. Chiesa couldn't get in there. Paredes trying to get in there for the 50-50. He does. Miretti now trying to get involved with Luis Alberto. Milinkovic-Savic ends up cleaning up, finding Pedro. Through ball for Felipe Anderson, and Gatti cleans it up, but Pedro follows up and then does not earn a foul there. I thought that would be called, but it wasn't. And Sandro plays this one over Rabiot, out for a throw-in. Frustrating stuff. Fagioli looks completely depleted and disheartened on the bench about that opportunity. It is what it is. You get some, you want to do better, you got to move on to the next. To be honest, I'd be more disappointed in the approach in the first half and pissing away a half of football. Sandro now quick throwing in for Rabiot. Rabiot looking to switch field. He does. Gatti now, he's quickly being closed down. Can pump this one forward for Chiesa. Does well to settle. Now he can look to move towards Lazio. Going all the way over to the right side for Di Maria. Di Maria settles another one. Keeps it in. It's in the area. Miretti out for Danilo. Quick, you guys. Quick. For Paredes. Ball over the top. Looking Miretti's way. Inside for Di Maria. Oh my God. He turns and hits and that's blocked. Oh my God, that was beautifully worked. Beautifully worked. How on earth does that happen? Beautifully worked. He just quickly getting that block, that slide challenge in. Here's Miretti with a corner kick. It's in there. Headed away from Lazio. Kept in by Paredes. Rabiot trying to turn towards the area. Finds Paredes. Paredes has an opportunity to hit. He does, but it's wide of goal. Much better from Juventus. Causing problems, asking questions, but just doing so late into the game here. Headed on from Savic to Felipe Anderson. He's going to cross this one in. Sandro heads it out. Brammer doing battle. 50-50s everywhere. Miretti 1-2 with Milik. He does well. He's running away. He's got Di Maria there. You got to play it sooner. Waited too long and ends up losing the ball. Basic comes in and takes it. Danilo giving Miretti the gear, saying that Di Maria was the progression there. He missed that one. Given to him back at Miretti, who does well to get beyond, earns the foul. Forces the foul on Vecino there. Hard one. 89 minutes, 45 seconds. Ball played in for Di Maria. Di Maria's waiting. Crosses it in. Going back post. Headed out. Casale heading that one out. Chiesa is going to go over and take the throw in for Juventus. We are at the 90th minute mark, okay? So we are in stoppage time. We have 5 minutes of stoppage time. Throw in deep into the area. Rabiot flicks on. Gatti trying to shield. Lazio sees it out, though, only as far as Paredes tries to settle this one down for Sandro here. We do have a call, though, as a Lazio player is down in the area. Man, Gatti shielding. Casale going down. He's entitled to his space. He can do that. You can simply stand up. If you end up going over, Enzo making the call, last minute pen for Juve. To be honest, at this point, it's just avoid the loss. Avoid the loss. Get the point. Shame we can't take advantage, but tough one here. Tough one here. Shame we couldn't take advantage this week, but Lazio at home, it is what it is. I just still feel so upset about our first half of football. I look at halves like that and I just think it's a complete waste. Just watching replays through this game, various 50-50s and everything, but the second half of football from Juve, we got into that, just that mess defensively. They're finally pulling Juan Cuadrado out, but the first half is still where this game was just, it was able to hit the point that it reached just from a first half wasted. And yes, Danilo did scold Miretti. Absolutely, for not distributing that to Di Maria. We have the play back in action, everybody. Di Maria crosses this back post. Rabiot's way. It's headed out by Lazio. That thing goes out. It's going to be a corner kick for Juventus. There's no way he kept that in. Now we have the official call from the official there. It's going to be corner kick. Come on, Juve. Push for this. 5 minutes, but it's going to be a little more because Casale ended up going down. He is now able to get back onto the pitch. Paredes lining up this corner. Here comes the corner. It's in. Oh, Provedel ends up punching this out. And another call. Stopping things here on a foul. "93 minutes, 20 seconds. That is very, very light, though, if we're calling that foul. Like, there's nothing there. That's barely anything. What are we talking about here? Man, they should play like, man, men's league lets stuff like that slide. What are we talking about? Like, men's rec league lets stuff like that fly. What are we... 94th minute, Lazio. Deep in the corner, crossing one, having it off of Juve's defender is Pedro. It's going to be a corner kick for Lazio and be able to chew up more time, no doubt. Waiting for Luis Alberto to step up to it. They're no doubt going to look to play this thing short and just hold it off. Luis Alberto for Sergej Milinkovic-Savic, and he's just going to do exactly that. Draw a foul or see it out. Juve does find the ball out. They play it over to the right for Danilo. Di Maria dropping back. And now he's left stuck, but he does play it forward. Miretti. Oh my God. Miretti with a... awful decision there. Didn't hit Danilo in stride. Has to take a bad foul after. Gets a yellow card. And, oh, man. We could have been off to something promising in terms of a counter, but Moretti stops the pass flat, when Danilo's making the run beyond. 95 minutes, 20 seconds. It looks like Juve is getting ready to take this L, everybody. Lazio bench on their feet, ready for that final 3 whistles. Ball played deep. Looked like Sergei Milinkovic-Savic was offside, but no, he's in. We're able to take this and play this one on. Refs allowing us to keep moving. Moretti closed down on the right quickly. Played back. Paredes inside for Rabiot. Rabiot trying to play it in for Bremer, but he's chewed up. We're just way too congested. Trying to play quickly was awful. Oh my God, man. Running back at our own defense here, playing to Moretti. We're all out of sorts, trying to just get the ball up the pitch for one last hurrah to try and equalize this thing. Sandro beats his man, moving forward, gets it inside to Lazio's half. Quick play in for Chiesa. He avoids a challenge. He's moving forward. Oh my God, that's a bad pass for Di Maria, and Chiesa's limping. Bad pass for Di Maria. He's limping. Di Maria tries to play a ball through. It's cut off, pump forward. Have to expect this stops things. We're at 96 minutes, 30 seconds. And there you have it. That is the final. That is full time, everybody. Juve has suffered defeat 2-1 to Lazio. Oh, man. Oh. You know what? It's a story of 2 halves, everybody. It's a story of 2 halves of football. You know, and ultimately, this game, through a frustrating first half of football, then hitting the second, it ultimately comes down to a moment of miscommunication between Gatti and Quadrado. Quadrado, after that point, had never recovered. And we needed Danilo to come in to this game, in a game that we wanted him to get some rest. Is what it is. We are going to tackle everything. I'll give you the statistics. Here's first half to the second half. The possession and the stats and the shots and everything don't do it justice for just how poor Juventus played in that first half. Because if you look at it by numbers, in the first half of football, 58% possession for Lazio, 42% for Juventus. 6 total attempts from Lazio, 4 total attempts from Juventus. Both teams getting 3 attempts on target. I have no idea where SofaScore comes up with 3 big chances for Juventus in the first half, because I think it was only the one, and the one that we ended up scoring, because we came out 1-all at that half. Fortunate for Juventus based on how they played. All right. Second half, 58% possession for Juventus. 7 total attempts for Juve, 3 total attempts for Lazio, 1 on target for both teams. Now, 7 total attempts to finish with essentially only 1 on target out of those 7 attempts is a shame when you look at some of those opportunities, okay? If you go with the whole game, 11 opportunities for Juve to Lazio's 9, 4 attempts on target from both those teams. But ultimately, yeah, they find it on 1 goal. Excuse me, we had difference there. But we really, really played so bad in that first half that we just essentially wasted it. If we could have leveled things off, maybe we don't even go down. Potentially, things are a lot different for us. But at the end, in the grand scheme of things, this team in the final third leaves so much to be desired. And whether it's execution, whether it's the ideas and everything, it has to be much better. But the approach, the intensity, and us actually going at them wasn't corrected until too late in this one. But you should not need adverse situations to wake up and kind of get into this game and whatnot. But ultimately, the personnel that we went to that started the game was for the most part largely ineffective. I feel like Kostic was not himself. I think Rabiot did a good job. I think Rabiot played a really, really good game. Paredes coming on for Locatelli and whatnot. I didn't have a problem with what either one of them doing, but I must say Paredes was looking to break the team down with those passes, and he was doing well. He's finding Di Maria. They were linking up behind that 9. Chiesa looked tremendous. Little nervous about that bad pass that he made to Di Maria at the end there that saw him limp afterwards. Hopefully he was okay. We always have eyes on Chiesa in terms of him getting fit and staying healthy and whatnot, because we need him to stay fit. But for me, the guys that were out there from the start didn't cut it, and the approach didn't cut it, and it was far too soft. But the defensive miscue ends up being the difference. That between Gatti and Cuadrado, credit to Lazio, especially Luis Alberto, with a beautiful, beautiful flick on there for Zaccagni. And you look at ours, Fagioli's going to want that attempt back. I think Duchamp's going to want probably 2 moments back in the final third there for attempts. I think Di Maria's probably going to wish he would have shot that one. And also, even though he chose to pass to Chiesa, I think Chiesa's got to have a goal. You got to have a go there. There's a little bit of contact on your back there. You could still have that hit. But the thing is, if he hits that and it's poor because of him being off balance and everything like that and not being able to muster enough power, if he takes an attempt, he's definitely not going to get the call because he's had a shot. It's a tough one. It's a tough one there, but I always say play through everything, especially if we're talking about the difference in a scoring opportunity and not. But I'm not going to go hard on Chiesa there for that one. I truly believe Di Maria should have shot that from where he was. But, hey, high percentage pass that he makes into Chiesa, it unfortunately doesn't work for us. But this is, again, the difference for us. In the final third, we need much more, everybody. Much more, everybody. Let's get your comments, your thoughts in here, everybody. And let's be honest, with Allegri, we will never see the real Juve. Forza Juve says Juve needs to stop playing for ref calls. That is very frustrating. It was very frustrating in this one too. In the first half and moments in the second. I agree with you. Less in the second when they decided to turn it on and be chasing the game and playing, but we shouldn't need to be down against teams to be playing properly. This one, that first half was awful. What a surprise. We played way better 4-3-3. Well, yeah, it's the personnel, though. It's the personnel. And honestly, Sandro, though, to be honest, if we want to keep going with this 4-3-3 or whatnot, I don't want Sandro being a left back because, to be honest, he was taken advantage of in many scenarios in this game. If you go 4-3-3, he's your left back. He's your left back. And even if you say you want to go De Chilio or whatnot, we surrender a lot if we want to go 4-3-3 because we do not have modern fullbacks. So it looked decent in this game, but there's a lot going on, and Lazio felt comfortable and whatnot. I'm not sold on making a switch just based off of this. But I understand that we're always going to flip back and forth. But for the most part, the balance for this team is in that other setup. I think maybe, just maybe, personnel, we had too many guys just not seeming into it. Maybe they're tired. I don't know. But it wasn't good. It wasn't good. And again, the shouts will come in that we need to play 4-3-3. Hey, that's fair. That's fair. Swarid asking, would you go 4-3-3 against Sporting Lisbon? I really have to look at this. Digest. I know this question is going to come up on tomorrow's post-match podcast, which we will be live at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time right here on the channel, everybody. I really have to think long and hard about this and about who we're going to be playing. I'm not against this, but I'm telling you right now, if it's going to be like De Chilio, Sandro, fullbacks, whatnot, like, I'm not into it. If it's even Cuadrado, like, I mean, even Danilo, like, I'm okay with it and whatnot, but we just don't have one of those fullbacks that's actually going to get way up there, engaged and whatnot. And if it is, it's usually on the opposite side, which is Juan Cuadrado, who we need mostly our main flank to be the left side through Kostic and whatnot. I don't know. I don't know. You end up taking a scenario where you can have Kostic and Chiesa playing, and then you end up only going with one of them. Again, yeah, I would pick Chiesa every time. If fit, let's wait to see who's fit first. Sell Dusan. Hey, this guy is under the microscope, and it's just been poor, and there are seemingly there's no sight and end to this slump. But it is a mess. It is a mess. And more are jumping on just finally just sell him and get somebody else in here, whatnot. It is. But I kind of am leaning with Dells here that the 4-3-3 going back to that hasn't exactly been great, everybody. Fullbacks are a big part of it. But let's see what happens. Stop it with Cuadrado. There's no one else this season we have to put with him. Sure, we do. But what I'm saying is it creates this one-sidedness. Usually if you're going to have an attacking side, an attacking flank, it's equal with it. Like we saw the Azzurri do that at the Euros when they won it all. They had a stay-at-home flank, and then they had their attacking flank. That fullback went all the way up, and it allowed forwards to slide in centrally. They did it very well. And to prevent counters, to prevent getting hit back, that other was stay at home, come back. If you do that with Cuadrado, whatnot, you're essentially rendering Kostic very, very low key if essentially that's what we're trying to do. If that's what we're trying to do. You're taking away from yet another side. And to be honest, the defensive side on the other end becomes Sandro, which doesn't necessarily work. It's tricky at the back. But I will say this, it's getting better with the emergence of Gatti. However, today you see a goal that hurts us because of a miscommunication from Gatti, but mistakes are going to happen, and it is what it is. Ultimately, I'm not even so much upset about that scenario as I am the fact that we wasted yet another half of football. We were abysmal. Where is Illing Jr.? Should Illing Jr. have come into that game? Yeah, you can make that argument. Di Maria went from a half where I would have been absolutely fine taking him off in the first half of how bad he was. In the second half, man, he was really good to start it for the opening couple minutes and then had a lull again. And then all of a sudden, he looked like Di Maria again. This was a very, very strange game from Di Maria where he was fading in and out of his class and at sometimes doing so by the second almost. There's a lot of work to be done in the final third. But for me, the problem will always arise in the final third. Juventus has a poor record when conceding goals. Even one goal, let alone two. Today, we surrendered two. And again, it becomes a struggle because we just don't feel confident enough in how many goals this team is going to put home. And we are getting moments. We are getting opportunities. We are getting sequences. Sometimes the decisions are made incorrect. And other times, it's just the execution. Whatever it is, this team, like we are in mid-April, close to mid-April, wake up. It's time to figure it out in the final third. And if you can't, there's major, major issues. Major issues. Now, let's get going on this. Congratulations again going out to Jeremiah. I'm happy you won your kit. That is at least one positive we could take out of this. All right. Now, Jeremiah saying we play better without Dusan. He's our weakest link at the moment. Milik's play. Milik wasn't heavily involved by any means either, though, to be honest. And it's going to be interest on my replay here because always in the heat of the moment, there's emotions going on. But I watch all the games at night again. I will watch this one again on a replay and get ready for the post-match podcast. It'll be interesting to see just how much change. And there was a lot of player changes also beyond him that could have also affected things and changed things up and whatnot. Like Chiesa, for one, was far more effective than Kostic was today on the left side, without a doubt. Chiesa didn't care if there was 1, 2, sometimes 3 defenders in front of him. He was raring to go. That helps tremendously. If Chiesa was out there playing like that, and we played with that type of approach as we did after the adverse scenario, while Dusan was on the pitch, would things have been different? Potentially. I don't know. It could have. Our changes all at the 63rd minute when Milik came on. Paredes was one for Locatelli and Chiesa was one for Kostic. We made the switch formation-wise and it changed. Danilo and Cuadrado, that was a 70th minute change. And from there on, things changed drastically. Would all things have been the same even with Dusan out there? Hey, it's just speculation. Just speculation. But I said I wouldn't have rested Vlahovic in this game. Stand behind it. Going into Sporting, I'm not so sure I start him. I have much more faith, even in what I was saying before about other aspects changing this game. I have much more faith in Milik right now out of all our guys, even though Keane's got the highest scoring rate, whatnot. I have much more faith in Milik out of all of our guys for what he does for the group overall in terms of how we play. That's just me. But I think it's becoming hard to start Vlahovic right now at this point. It is becoming hard now. Chiesa should finally start from the beginning. Absolutely. If Chiesa can go, he's got to go. He's got to be out there for me, in my opinion. Absolutely agree with that. The team is more talented than they show. I believe you. I'm with you 100%. I totally agree. This team is capable of much more than we see more often than not. Okay? Dell saying, I don't know how without a managerial change, but we need to score more goals. Oh, yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy how impotent this team is in front of goal. It's wild to me. And service and all that and whatnot, would you say service was an issue today? Because I don't believe it was. Our first half was abysmal and whatnot, but there was moments and opportunities there for us to bag goals. But we continue to just not have this connection in the final third, this understanding. And not only that, but the drive and the willingness to just be the guy that grabs a bull by the fucking horns and says, I'm taking this hit, I'm having it, like I'm getting it in there. Di Maria had a moment there to do that. He didn't. And then we have moments for these guys to come up big and the execution is just not there. The confidence in front of goal for this team isn't there. The confidence in front of goal is not there. Juventus has scored 47 goals 29 games. To be honest, in the grand scheme of things in Serie A, that's not bad by any means. But if you look at Napoli, they've scored 66. If you also look at it, it's how and when you concede in games. Because if we're in control of games and, you concede after some let up or whatnot, okay. But we're not creating enough of a gap to be conceding because we just don't score enough. So scoring, it's definitely been highlighted as a major issue for this team. In terms of man of the match, everybody, I'm going to give you SofaScore's ratings for Juventus. And we'll see how you feel about them and how you agree. Again, SofaScore is not the best, but nonetheless, here it is. Szczesny with a 6.4. Gatti with a 6.3. Not sure I agree with Gatti. Just barely over 6. Not sure I agree with that. But if I had to score him, I think he'd be close to Bremer, to be honest. But he did have that one miss hit. I'm going to put him at 6.5. I'll put him at 6.5. Bremer at a 7. Yep. No problems with that. Sandro finished with a 7.3. 7.3 for Sandro. Juan Cuadrado with a 6.1. I had him at dropping down to probably a 5 or a 5.5. Fagioli 6.7, 6.5. Yeah, I'd probably leave him the same at a 6 level. And not necessarily because of him, but just the game in general. Maybe 6.5. 6 might be harsh. Locatelli 6.6. The same as Fagioli, 6.5. Unable, probably because of credit to Lazio again, they flooded our midfield, okay? Rabiot 7.2. Yeah, I had him at a 7.5. I thought his work rate was tremendous. He was huge. Absolutely massive. Kostic 6.6. I had him at an even 6. Didn't do much. It wasn't terrible, it wasn't bad, but he didn't really get involved, so I just left him at an even 6. Di Maria at a 7. I'm probably going to say Di Maria gets a 6.5 for me. Vlahovic at a 7. Not seeing that. Vlahovic stays. He doesn't go under in my books, but he doesn't gain a point for me either. 6 for me and there. So based on that, for me, Adrian Rabiot would have been my choice of the man of the match for Juventus. And I'm shocked at Gatti's rating there. And even Szczesny, I don't know how you go to 6.4 in this game, whatever. Wild to me. That rating is hilarious. Gatti worse than Sandro and Bremer. I know. I thought Bremer had a strong game. Gatti was right there with him for me, but Sandro being there, the highest out of the back for me is wild. Absolutely wild to me. That's Sofa Score for you, everybody. Not me, okay? As I shared my ratings and my thoughts with you all right? Rabiot for me, man of the match. If you guys don't agree, drop who you would have given the man of match for. Jeremiah says Rabiot, he worked extremely, extremely hard. Let's get Boss Nate Dogg's comments in here. The team plays better when they actually field more than 2 attackers. Vlahovic and Di Maria struggle when it's just the 2 of them. Yes. When Chiesa comes on, it adds another dynamic. Yes. Yep. I agree. However, the balance in play for us has been a big issue prior to us moving to the 3-5-1-1. So that becomes the major discussion point. I don't disagree with you that having that extra attacker helps them. Of course it does. But does it put us too far in a scenario where they can counter us and maybe punish us? Because we did see Lazio have a lot of opportunities, and some of them were very close to being very, very serious and danger counterattacks. So it's all relevant and it's all got to make sense. Are we at a point where maybe now we need to move on to try a 4-3-3 moving forward? Maybe. We'll hash it out and talk a lot more, obviously, tomorrow morning on the post-match podcast. This was a frustrating game. The first half especially. Sal saying apparently they all need to be in contract years, so they play like Adrian Rabiot. Well, yeah, a big match against Inter there. And again, this is a couple matches in the row where we've been the team that sat back tremendously. Leading up to those games, we had very, very good balance in our matches, and I had no problems with what we were doing. But the match against Inter, now this one, we are dropping further and further back and starting to get into something that concerns me a lot. We can't be that team. We're not that team anymore. We've established this already this season. We have to be the team that balances everything and gets things going. Ciao, amico. Hopefully we see you tomorrow morning on the live, all right? Forza Juve, fino alla fine, no matter what. Maybe, just maybe, like I said, starting to fall into a dangerous trap yet again. I don't know. Everybody, hey, it's a tough one. Sucks to lose. Hate losing. We lost this one, dropped it 2-1 to Lazio. We got to shake it off and get ready for the week upon us, all right? We are going to take a look at what's coming for Juventus. Obviously, we know that next up on the schedule for us is going to be Sporting on Thursday for the first leg of our tie with them in the Europa League. We are going to tackle that, take a look ahead tomorrow morning, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. I hope to see all of you there in the chat. You guys are fire. And regardless of the result or not, I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekends. Happy Easter to all of those that applies to, all right? But enjoy yourselves nonetheless. Don't let things out of your control drive you nuts or ruin your weekends like Juve losing. It pisses me off. But now it's time for time with the family, all right? We will reconvene tomorrow morning, hash out all the details, and take a much more in-depth look and a look ahead to Sporting. Everybody, Thank you for joining on this watch along. Drop a like if you can after. Drop a comment in the comment section of this video. As always, fino alla fine, forza Juve, no matter what. All right. Ciao tutti. Take care.
Yeah.